I'd be honest that I was lost. I was hoping we'd carry on, 'cause I can't stop loving you. No, I won't stop loving you, 'cause I can't stop. Cause I can't stop loving you.
Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why I'm free in my trap soul. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why I'm making examples of you. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why I'm free in my trap soul. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why I'm making examples of you. Must be the reason why I am king of. Must be the reason why I am king of. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why I'm free in my trap soul. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why I'm making examples of you. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 JSRA season.
What a race this has been. But there is Dominic Charles now sitting in the slipstream of the Australian, maybe trying to see if he can force a mistake.
Oh, what a move by Moss on the outside of Jaden Harrison.
Hold them Kimani as the fans are out and about. John just closing off the gap to the Trinidadian.
2, 1, go. Fast, sharp right. Fast, sharp right. Sharp right. Sharp right. Listen. 7.
Good evening everyone and welcome back to the JSRA. Tonight it's round 6 of the Caribbean Touring Car Championship. Live from Monza in Italy. It is our second of 2 endurance races that we'll have on the CTCC this season. So buckle on up for a 1-hour endurance race, a race of attrition at extremely high speeds around this circuit, one of the most famous in all of motorsport. It's a lovely, cloudy, partly cloudy day here in Monza. It is extremely exciting. What will we see this time around? after an absolutely electric round 5 a couple weekends ago in Qatar. Lovely, lovely scenery here around the circuit of Monza, including the old oval circuit that we're just passing over as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the championship point, shall we? What an electric race we had last time out in Qatar. A couple of races we had. Race number 1 was won just narrowly by Jaden Harrison. The Jamaican, the speedy Jamaican, managed to take home the full points last time in race 1. But then race number 2, the battle continued between Harrison and Barrera managed to do a last lap pass for the victory. We thought he might have pushed him off the track, but it was determined to be racing incident, and Estefano Barrera crossed the line just a mere 3/10 in front of Jaden Harrison to pick up the half points victory, and that was enough to stay ahead of Jaden Harrison by 21 points. That is the gap in this electric battle for the CTCC Championship. Dominic Charles is in 3rd place. He's still in the hunt as well. He's been incredibly quick. Can he work his way up today with a win? Rohei Robinson is 4th position. An absolutely disastrous weekend at Qatar with the huge maneuver into Mateo Mejia. Daniel Velez will be 5th. Christian Gomez is 6th. The two Nova Racing Store drivers. Raven Plummer is number 7 with 82 points, and she gains a couple of positions off of that. So Raven Plummer, with the endurance race, she has a golden opportunity today to score some big points. Is she out of the title fight now though? Possibly. Kyle Barrett will be P8 in the championship right now. Mikael Charles will be P9. Omar Escorcia, P10. Mateo Mejia, P11. Then it goes back to Kadeem Mohammed in P12. Michael Thompson in P13. Oswin Wilson, P14. Luis Arenas, who I don't believe joined us last time, if I recall correctly, P15. DeVille Park, P16, with a fairly good result last time for DeVille. Kimoni Eastman, P17, getting it all wrong on the final lap of race 2. Michael McNamee will be rejoining us again. He's P18. Then Roger Keller is P19. Kurt Moss, P20, not joining us any further. Ruben Espinosa, P21. John Singleton, P22. And Riley Curtis, P23. A lot of incidents for Riley Curtis in this season has hindered his performance. Samuel Cortez 24th, and Nicholas Donald with 1 point in P number 25. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to Monza. We hope you are having a fantastic Friday evening so far. It is CTCC night once again. We hope you enjoyed your break week. I certainly did. In fact, in general, I'm quite busy at the current moment. So we hope you're roaring and ready to go for another night of the Caribbean Touring Car Championship, live across the world on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you everyone who is starting to follow their way in. Hopefully everyone has found the stream, those that have wanted to see it, because I know we did have to stop and start a little bit there. We had to get our bit rate kind of sorted, and even then it's still kind of a problem at the moment, but it's unfortunately the best we got right now. I'm not really sure why or what's going on, but we'll go ahead and we'll get started anyway. We might see if we can fix it throughout the course of the stream. We'll have to find out, but yeah, let's go ahead then, take a look at Roger Keller. He is P7. They are finishing up the practice now. 6 minutes remaining in the practice session. They just had the driver's briefing about almost an hour ago. And some exciting changes for this race that we get to announce. So let's go ahead then. go to Dominic Charles. Lovely camera views, by the way, for this circuit. Let's go ahead then and talk about what we have on tap for this week, because this is a little bit different than the usual races that we got here this season. Now, obviously, we usually do the sprint format. It's usually 2 20-minute races. This is going to be an hour endurance race, 1 hour endurance race. And so that means we are going to be going non-stop, one race for, this time, 1.5 times points. Yes, 1.5x points. Usually it's just 1x and then the half points for race 2. But this is 1.5 times points for this endurance race. So that's really, really, really big. That's why it's super important you do well in this. We're going to have a different qualifying session this time, and it's going to be a little bit confusing if you don't understand FIA driver ratings. This is based off of the FIA, you know, bronze, silver, gold, platinum driver ratings. We have bronze and silver drivers here in the CTCC. So what's going to happen this time is that we're going to have a split class qualifying, or a split driver racing qualifying. There is no technical classes here, but there is the driver ratings, and we're going to have split driver racing qualifying. So the silver drivers that are, you know, the silver licensed drivers that we have in the JSRA that are in this race, such as, for example, Jaden Harrison, who's in the pits. How about Estefano Barrera? There we go. He's the silver driver. They will be qualifying first. So the bronze drivers will be sitting in the pits and waiting for the first 10 minutes of the qualifying. It's going to be, by the way, 20-minute qualifying, not 15 minutes. So 10 minutes per class, you could say. So silver drivers first for 10 minutes, and then bronze drivers will do the next 10 minutes. That's how that's going to be, but they all still line up as they qualify on time. There is no split class start, obviously, but they will have a split qualifying, so that's silver drivers all together, bronze drivers all together. And the idea behind it, in case you're wondering why on earth would they do that, the reasoning behind it is so that the silver drivers can be unobstructed, the bronze drivers have a bit more space, they have room to put a lap together, and thus we should have a more close, more competitive, you should say, qualifying. That is what we are striving for this time around. As Barrera goes along the outside of the Parabolica to start a lap here at the Monza circuit. So let's go ahead then and ride on board with Estefano Barrera, and let's take a look and see. Now, I did have my audio for the inside working during my testing earlier last week, but now that we're in this server, it seems to still not be working. So I do apologise in advance. We'll try and get that audio later from Stephen's point of view. He's on his way home right now from work, so we're not going to get him until likely after the qualifying even. So we will be waiting for him, but he won't be here for a little bit. So just me for now. So Barrera went through turn 1 there. He got the very, very famous chicane, and I'll try and look up these corner names. It's going to be difficult to pronounce because they're all Italian. So he's coming up now to Variante Ascari, or sorry, he went through Variante Ascari. Sorry, excuse me, he went through Biasono first. He's going up to Variante della Roggia? Anyway, that's turn 4-5. Then up to the Lesmo curve, so through curve 1, and then through curve 2. And then goes down the long straights. There is a tiny bit of a curve there. Saraglio, something like that. I'm terrible at pronunciation, so I do apologise. But then makes his way up to Ascari, which is there. And then works his way down the other straight, on the other side, to the Curva Parabolica. And that will be the final corner, turn 11. That sends him back to the finish line. Hopefully that made some sense. I know that was a little bit confusing, but yeah, Variante del Retifio, something like that. That's turns 1 and 2, just past the start finish line. Then Biasono, then the Lesmo curves up the top, then Ascari down there in the kind of north middle, I guess you could say. That's turns 8, 9, 10 complex. We'll try our best to do the Italian, but retifilio. So anyway, I as you can tell, I'm not Italian, so it's not gonna be easy. Anyways, we might just end up using corner numbers at this rate. Anyway, we'll welcome on people that we see into the show now. As the practice comes to a close, drivers finishing up their final lap now as Barrera goes off the circuit. Carl Barrett in the pits. Dominic Charles is on the track. Let's take a look at him and go straight on at turn 1. So he's not going to have anything further. Raven Plummer up to the line. And, oh, there we go. Raven Plummer crosses the line and she is P10 out of practice. What can she do with the endurance this time out? So what was I going to say there? So yeah, let's welcome on people to the show, filing their way in now. Kenny Monster is back, our good friend from the state of Minnesota in the United States. Good evening, welcome back. I don't see anyone else in the stream chat unless somehow it's wrong, but I think we're on the correct thing. We're on the correct event on YouTube. I hope so, anyway. So there's 4 people watching on the YouTube side, so I'm hoping that's working. We'll say hello to people as they come in soon enough. Let's take a look at Jaden Harrison coming back round, getting ready for the qualifying. Rohei Robinson tops the practice by 0.015. Oh boy, that's close. Kyle Barrett P2 and Dominic Charles P4 there, Luis Daniel Velez P3. But obviously none of this matters. We need to see the actual qualifying first before we really know who is quick, who is not. So yeah. So it looks like Stephen is at home. He's setting up his stuff, so we'll be getting him soon, our partner in crime for this evening's broadcast. So yeah, we do apologise about the bitrate. Seems to be about half of what it should be, and I really have no idea why that's the case. I truly could not tell you. I haven't changed anything, so I truly do not know. But my apologies either way. Could be that maybe the ISP doesn't like what's going on. Who knows? One thing I could do is probably close some things that I don't have open, don't need. So, okay, here we go. Oh, my auto start system is taken over. Getting the qualifying session started here in a sec. So, hang on, let me close a couple of things. Maybe it might help. And then we'll properly get started. Again, not how this normally goes to start a broadcast, is it? But anyway, drivers loading up their setup now. And right, okay, I think I closed pretty much everything I could. Oh, one thing I could do. Turn on that. There we go. Right, hopefully that fixes some things. Okay, if it doesn't, then I don't know what to do. Okay, so yes, we got, who do we have this time? Kadeem Mohammed back again. We have Mateo Mejia. He's back once again, looking to, I don't know, looking for revenge on Rohei Robinson necessarily, but looking to get back at him, at least on the track, for what happened last time. You might recall, he wants some major points. And here we go, qualifying underway, and they're headed out to the pit lane now. So let's try and find a silver driver to follow. And I must be honest, I cannot actually find anyone. Some people have left the pit lane, or they're going up to the pit lane light. That is, I think that was what was instructed, is they go up to the pit lane light and they wait for 20 minutes to go. Then these drivers will have 10 minutes to do their qualifying. And then the bronze drivers, they're sitting in their pit box. They'll be doing it separately in the next part of the session, next part of qualifying. And green flag, away we go, 20 minutes, the cars file out of the pit lane, and off we go for Monza qualifying for the endurance race, round 7 of 8 in this season series. The season coming towards an end pretty soon. Estefano Barrera stays in the pits. He doesn't go and line up right away, which is interesting. Oh, I wanted to focus on Jaden Harrison, and for some reason that didn't work. Let's ride on board with Kimani Eastman for a second. Trackside cams are kind of funny, but there we go. They go through turn 1. Right, everyone's starting to file on out and get track position for this qualifying. Lots of silver drivers here. Not too many bronze drivers. But the ones that are here will like the track position coming up. And also something that was noted in driver's briefing is that you can watch the lines. Yes, you can watch the lines of the other drivers tonight as well. So you can kind of learn from them as they watch during this qualifying session. Who else do we have to say hello to tonight? Well, Kinney's already headed off to sleep. It's 9 o'clock for him. It's 9 o'clock for me. It's a late night now as well. Hopefully you guys survived daylight savings time, because yeah, we're an hour ahead of Jamaica now, in case you didn't know. And Rohei Robinson and Jane Harrison are already battling at it on the track for start of their first laps. So my timing tower might be a little bit messed up for the moment, but we'll be watching as they come through the Parabolica now to start their first laps of qualifying. Again, it's only 10 minutes for them. They don't get very much time at all. So if you mess up, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem for them. Jaden Harrison leads them away. Let's go ahead then and watch him run down the main straight towards turns 1 and 2 here. Go ahead and take a look. And here they come in, filing in nicely. Raven Plummer, see how she does. She's still warming up her tyres. Luis Daniel Velez and Roger Keller and Dominic Charles. They're all coming through. And let's see what lap times we can get out of this. By the way, no ballast for this race. No ballast for the endurance. That was the same as last time out in Austria. So no ballast. Other than that, I don't think there's any other rules that I need to, well, remember to tell you. I'm sure Stephen will remind me at some point anyway. Because, you know, that's just how it is. You know me, I do forget things. Right, so headed through Lesmo 2 now, and headed down the next straight. Now there is a DRS zone there if you're in Formula 1, but we're not on Formula 1, so you just have your 15 seconds of boost per lap that you can use. So that is important. They will be using it on these qualifying laps. The circuit length is 3.6 miles, exactly 3.6 miles, that's 5.793 kilometers. And the race lap record is by Rubens Barrichello, a minute 21.046. That was back in 2004 in the Ferrari. The Ferrari F2004, what an amazing car that was. But, yeah, that's not going to be anywhere close today with these vehicles. So So crossing the line now, Rohei Robinson sets the first lap, and Luis Daniel Velez sets it right after him, a 59.265, and goes right back to the pits. Rohei Robinson just behind that, and then Luis Daniel Velez there. Now behind Dominic Charles, who sets a 59.104. So just sub 2 minute is what it's going to be here. And maybe that's a bit longer than you would expect. And I think that's only slightly shorter than Qatar. If I recall correctly, I think Qatar, what was it, 2 minute 5, was it? 2 minute 6, something like that. So, go through. Lots of sausage curbs right there. Yes, you do have to be careful and watch out. I do have an F4 view, so I am going to use that. I didn't realise until I clicked it. I was like, surely F3, there's more than that. There we go. That looks a little nicer. So Rohei Robinson, green sector to start. Pretty much everyone here of the silver drivers, green first sectors. Kyle Barrett, purple first sector. He is incredibly quick, and he set the quickest practice lap back out in Qatar a couple weeks ago. But then he just fell off completely. There was absolutely nothing to show for it after the qualifying session. And Kyle Barrett, he even had a little incident there during race 2, I think it was. And just was not a great weekend out for Kyle Barrett so far in the JSRA. See what he can do, as it looks like, was that Mikel Charles that let him by? Yes, and Kyle Barrett is green through sector 2. He has greened every mini sector. Can he put in something good here? We'll have to see as the others are crossing the line now. Jaden Harrison is 4th position. He only has one more corner to go. Working his way up now through, and let's see what he gets here. Kyle Barrett through the parabolica. My apologies on the misclick there. And Kyle Barrett crosses the line, and it is P1 for Kyle Barrett. Yes, we thought it might be. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go for the silver drivers. Barrett a 58.981. That's more than a 10th clear of Dominic Charles. So they'll go round again. They're kind of in a big pack right now, and this is kind of exciting. Let's take a look at Roger Keller here. Roger Keller, let's take a look behind him. He's got a couple of folks following. Kearney Eastman. We really need to see something out of Kearney Eastman. Hasn't had a great season here in the CTCC so far. What can we get out of that? Kearney set his quickest lap last time, but he's still just P6 in the field so far. And that might drop back once we see the bronze drivers come in. Jaden Harrison, followed by Rohei Robinson. They are working together kind of here, or well, Rohei's working off of him, really, more like, with the slipstream. There he comes down the long straight up towards turn 11, the final corner. And Rohei Robinson, he might be on, well, he doesn't say he's on for anything, but he's purple, mini sectors in sector 3. Jane Harrison will definitely be on for quicker. And they get just about one more lap after this before the bronze drivers begin. So crossing the line now, Jaden Harrison, what does he get? It is still P5 for Jaden Harrison, but Rohei Robinson P2 with a purple sector 3 and 0.02 off of P1. Wow, really close there. And they still get one more. Dominic Charles goes P1, a 58.961. 0.02 of a second in front of Kyle Barrett. Kearney Eastman now crossing the line. What does Kearney do on this lap? Kearney will not improve. And let's see what Kyle Barrett can do as he's now crossing the line. And Kyle Barrett will not improve. And he gets one more lap to go. Dominic Charles, he must be feeling good right now. He's now following... well, Rodrigo Senna Wild and then someone else who I can't quite see. This is quite interesting here. Kearney Eastman, he's P6. Jaden Harrison is already back in the pits, or he's going out of the pits now, but I don't know if he's allowed to still make a lap, because when he comes round, that time will be out. So I'm not sure what exactly he's doing there, unless you're allowed to set another lap before it goes out. Maybe that was the case, but I couldn't quite recall if you had to be done, if you didn't have a flying lap before zeros, before zeros go on the clock. So let's see. Roger Keller P8 leading it away, not improving. Raven Plummer though, as she goes through a scurry there. She is purple in sector 2, still improving. She's catching on the boost. What can she do, Raven Plummer, as she heads up towards the Parabolica now, and going through it on the brakes, wants to bring it out wide. That's the quicker line. And let's see, is that Michael McNamee that's going to let them by? Now they're going to the pit, so crossing the line, Raven Plummer now. What can she do? P6 for Raven Plummer. And Jaden Harrison, I think he has to finish at P5. I don't think he's allowed to make another lap unless I'm mistaken. And so Dominic Charles, P1 out of the silvers so far. But that is not, again, that is not pole position. We're not having split classes here. We are only doing the silver drivers first. Now the bronze drivers are coming out on track, and they can now do their laps. So they go back to pits. Jaden should already be back in the pits, actually. So I don't know if he's going to get a penalty for that or not, for staying out during the bronze session. I don't know. But either way, on we go with the bronze drivers now. Again, the lower class of driver. You simply just register and you're into the race. It's as simple as that. And so that means these drivers, they'll have a lot less experience than those silver drivers, and it's going to be tough to chase that lap time. They will try though, make no mistake, they will absolutely try to make that lap time work. I just did a screenshot by mistake. My apologies there. Star, welcome back. Says, go Dominic Charles in the chat. Yes, they're very much a fan of Dominic Charles. As they round the Parabolica there. Again, so sorry about not having the inside audio. And now that we have the bronze drivers underway, let's go ahead then and welcome on in our partner in crime for this race. Please welcome Mr. Stephen Stewart.
As always, a warm welcome, Mark. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. And how are you doing this evening?
I am excited. The first set of qualifying has now been finished, and bronze class is now out and about, so definitely excited to see what is to come. I'm guessing you had already explained it to the fans of this new format.
I had indeed already explained everything you need to know. It is a little confusing if you're not used to the FIA driver ratings, but it's just like in real life with that. And again, sorry about the trackside cameras, they'll be a little funky in some spots here, but I promise I'll do my best, and we'll be able to get your POV as well again. So we're going to get all the action you need here tonight. I know last time out it was a little funky, a little jittery, but we'll try our absolute best tonight to do what we can do. So yes, Stephen, this is Monza. It's one of the quickest tracks on the on the calendar rather, and one more round to go after this. Is this where we might see a champion crowned?
Well, very likely, but as a matter of fact, the points are still relatively close, so
it's still
anything
21.
can happen.
It's not mathematically impossible.
Right, and points at this evening's race is 1.5%, so one slip-up mark, and you can literally give away your crown.
Indeed.
Or take it. So, yeah, I won't count anybody out as yet. I know some hearts sounded very broken last week, but let's see what can be done.
Absolutely right. As coming in is Kadeem Mohammed, that must be John. No, it's not John Singleton. It's one of the other AC karting drivers in front. And so they're crossing the line now, putting in their first couple of flying laps. 10 minutes for these guys, less than the usual 15. That's going to be a time crunch. It's going to, well, either make or break their race if they start up or down in the order, the starting order. No reverse grid, remember, it's just one race, so this is going to be extremely important for them. It's all on the line, and so you really couldn't ask for anything more exciting there, Stephen.
There you go. And Mark, just to reiterate what you would have given to the audience, the classes, though they are different, the at the end of the day, the overall standings is where the monetary funding will be, or the prize pool will be given out. And though we do have some drivers who are in bronze that are typically or normally up there in the top ranks, like Estefana Barrera or Kadeem Mohammed, they just didn't complete in the previous CTCC round. So after this championship, if they place top 3 in this championship, they will be promoted to silver. So not just because you see them in bronze doesn't mean there's a skill difference or anything, but at the same time, we just try to change up the field a little bit, give everybody an opportunity to get their best qualifying foot, take a little bit out of the crowd as well,
Well, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Estefano Barrera, I didn't even know that he wasn't a silver driver, because you would never know looking at his racing.
Exactly.
And so that means you are going to see someone fighting for pole position here, chasing that lap time, learning the lines of the other silver class drivers, and they have quite an advantage with that. They will be promoted probably after this season, should he finish out as well as he's doing now.
Absolutely. And
still 3 minutes to go, Stephen.
Look at the order. Yeah, just looking at the order, I haven't seen much changes. There are no ballast applied to the drivers this week. Estefano there in P8, but still somebody that you shouldn't look out or count out too early. But yeah, with a week's break, you'd think that the drivers would come back reinvigorated and ready for a show.
Well, you think so, but some drivers, they simply don't practice, and well, we can't really do anything about that. But they always like, oh yeah, practice, and then some drivers just like, nah, I'm not going to practice, and they come on in, and sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. Really depends how good they are just naturally as a driver. But yeah, it's always funny hearing about that, right? It's some drivers to put in hundreds of laps, and going too far is one to Adji there. Yeah, what do you think, Stephen, about that?
Well, hey, we've seen them not practice, not the best qualifying, and still end up in the top 10, top 5, let's say. So, hey, at this point, we know they're talented. So
it can happen, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Can we get your POV, by the way, Stephen? I was looking for it. I haven't seen it yet on the Discord. If that would be okay.
Sure, but I am gonna leave out in a moment's time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, never mind. well, I guess it for the race then. I wanted to know if we were missing any action. I don't think we are, but someone was off the track there a minute ago. I don't know who that was.
Well, you're riding along board with the right person now. Between him and Estefana, looking very rapid. Estefana there with a 159.7 puts himself up a position right above Kimani Eastman. But yes, this is the format, Mark, with that extended or widened chicane by, is that Ascari? I always mix up the names.
Well, Ascari is the one on the other parts of the circuit.
Right.
I always get that confused as well, because P1 and P2 is Variante del Rettifilio, if I'm saying that right. I really struggled in the intro trying to say the names. That's corners 1 and 2, and then the other one, obviously, well, we have 2 more. We have 4 and 5, that's Variante della Roggia, something like that. And then Variante Ascari is 8, 9, and 10. So.
Okay, got you. So thank God for you, first of all, because Again, I did run a little bit late, leaving work this evening, so I'm a little bit all over the place, but definitely excited to see what's gonna,
Yeah,
at least I'm
it's
glad
okay.
that we'll have you for
Uh,
the technical.
You know that's all right, because to be honest, before I came in, I only knew a couple of the corner names by heart as well. So don't worry, I was also in the same boat, and so this is the professionalism we have on the JSRA broadcast, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
know, always appreciate the humility, Mark. Always appreciate the humility.
Indeed, indeed. As we had a little pass there by Kadeem Mohammed as we get towards the final minutes of qualifying now for these bronze drivers. Are we going to see something magical, exciting, exhilarating? We are about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up and get ready. We are just getting started here. Checkered flag out, and the first to cross the line will be Kadeem Mohammed now. So he will be able to set a lap here, but not any further. And the last one to cross the line will be Tizwanto Adji in P19. So here they come now, crossing the line, and Kadeem Mohammed will not improve. Let's see the other drivers. Mateo Mejia, P7, does indeed improve. And Estefano Barrera, P8. And Michael Thompson will be P16. Chris Elliott crosses the line in P18 there. That's everyone right off of that. P19, they go back to the pits, and that is it. Well, that was a little quicker than I... That was a little quicker than I thought it'd be. Well, they were all together in a pack, both classes. And so it was a little bit more interesting with the silvers, but the bronzes cross, and that's it. It's over. Dominic Charles, pole position for Monza in the 1 hour endurance race, Stephen.
Well, Mark, this is going to fare up for a very interesting race. What's going to be even more exciting, Mark, is especially, the infamous turn on at Monza. I am going to be praying. Yes. I'm going to be pleading with the drivers right now, but we know the professionalism that these drivers have, so I'm not too worried.
You sound a little nervous, though.
I sound a little nervous, don't I? I will take my leave. I will be right back after the start of the race, hopefully. And ladies and gentlemen, please just say a prayer, because you know how Monza turn 1 can be, and hopefully no safety car will have to be called. But that being said, Mark, I'll be right back alongside you for the duration of this 1 hour race.
Okay. Oh, we always love your insightful commentary, Mr. Stephen. Thank you. All right, folks. Well, praying for a clean turn 1, and yes, he mentions it's infamous. Every time in sim racing, you get into turn 1 and there's a disaster waiting to happen. Let's see if we can be the exception to the rule. But if we do have more than 3 spinning out at T1, or really anywhere on the circuit for that matter, then we will be having a virtual safety car, and they will, well, I'll explain it again in a sec, but they'll all line up together and they'll go the end of the lap, go green flag again where they line up. So if we do need it, we have it, but hopefully we don't. Hopefully we don't need to use it. And last time out, there was the incredible spin of Raven Plummer at the beginning of race 2, and you might recall that caused the virtual safety car, and well, we had at least green flag running beyond that, but there was, yes, indeed, a lot of incidents there in that race. Let's see if we go incident free here. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see. So the end of qualifying, I'm really not putting too much faith in this, am I? End of qualifying, let's take a look at the session results, shall we? And it's going to be P number 1 going to Dominic Charles, who, by the way, doesn't get pole position too often. This is a relatively good position for him. Kyle Barrett will be in P number 2 to to start out this race. So how about that? Rohei Robinson will be P number 3. Luis Daniel Velez will be P4, and we had the interview with him last time out. He will be, I'm sure, pretty happy about that result. Jaden Harrison P5. And that might be a little concerning for him. We'll see if he can work his way through the field. Raven Plummer will be P6. Mateo Mejia P7. Estefano Barrera in the big fight with Harrison for the championship P8. That also might be worrying for him. Kemerni Eastman P9. Kadim Mohammed P10. Roger Keller P11. Michael McNamee will be P12. 1 second, Stephen. P13, sure. Rodrigo Center Wild. P14, Mikhail Charles. 15th is Riley Curtis. Michael Thompson, P16. John Singleton, P17. Chris Elliott, P18. Tazwanto Abji will be P19. And rounding out, P20, Shashawn Falloon, 7 seconds back. Sorry, Stephen, go ahead there. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, no, my apologies for cutting you off. I did jump in a little erratic there, but just a quick point of note to the fans. The first minute, nobody will be driving out. Once the safety car leads the pack away after the first minute, that's just for the drivers to just organize themselves with some things that we're doing in the background. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, just so you're not wondering why we're sitting down not doing anything, okay?
I see, okay. Thank you for telling me. I didn't hear that in the driver's briefing, so thank you before I got really confused.
Absolutely. And, yep, I'm looking forward to the race at hand. I'll be back with you sooner than later. Just a quick reminder, in case, to go back to pits if you don't have
it's on. Yeah, it's on.
All right, perfect. All right, brother. So I will be back.
Okay, thank you so much, Stephen. All right, it's time to get ready now for the get ready for the race. Hopefully it is on. If it's not, then I'm going back to pits now. There we are. It is on. Lovely. So Dominic Charles will be leading the field away in just a moment's time. But of course we have to get the safety car through first. Here comes Stephen now, and he will sit here at the front of the grid. So he will be leading us away in just a moment. 22 degrees on the track, 17 in the air, so not terribly hot, but also not extremely cold either, although I do know at this time of year it generally is fairly cold in Italy. Kemerni Eastman put in the chat just before he went to the grid that he's scared for the start, so that's interesting. We have yellow on the, you see, real penalty app there, as Stephen kind of moves backwards. Oh, I think he was just putting his car into gear. There we go. Yeah, we do have yellow on the real penalty app there. We use real penalty for this, by the way. Very popular multiplayer race control app. Yellow all the way around the formation lap before we then get to the end, of which that yellow will go out. Lead driver will lead the field. Double file here, as you see, to start finish line, and then when they see green pop up on that's green flag, and away we go racing. So in case anyone's not familiar with that, that's how that is, and I have it on my end as well. I would like to move that from there, but I don't know if I can. No, I guess not, but that's okay. So they lead them through turn 1 and 2. Lovely Porsche 992 Turbo leading them away. So again, look at the grid. Dominic Charles, Kyle Barrett P2, Rohei Robinson P3, and that's a good starting position for Rohei Robinson. He won't have as many drivers to pass through and work up through the field, so might he get a really good position out of that? We'll have to see. Alec Whitehawk, hello, welcome on in, welcome back. Great to see you round again. Hope you're enjoying. Welcome to the JSRA live stream. And on Twitch side, I don't think I see anyone really over there, but that's all right. So just getting started in a moment, little more than half a lap to go here for our 1 hour endurance race for 1.5 times points. 1.5 times point. That's going to be really, really big, really, really important. Once again, a reminder on the championship points. I'm looking here in the Discord right now. They are saying that it's Estefano Barrera on 135.5. Jaden Harrison is 114.5. Dominic Charles is 102.5. Rohei Robinson 100 exactly. That is important because that is essentially who is now on for the end of our championship here, and well, on to win the end of our championship. Remember, the cash prize, the real cash money, goes out to the top. I believe it's top 8 out of the championship points, no matter which class. It's overall. Hopefully that made some sense. Getting ready to go here as they run under the bridge. I didn't realise they changed the branding of that recently. That Motorola sign there now, I don't recall it being that. It used to be different for years. But anyway, coming up to Ascari now, and that's going to be a real fun braking zone in this race, especially on lap 1. Little late? No, Alec Whitehawk, you're never late, mate. If you're always here live on the stream, you are always on time in my mind. Almost a little bit of action towards the back there, but no, we're okay. So they're going to lead them on down. Everyone double file, everyone getting ready. Once again, Dominic Charles will be leading the field here to green. Hope everything holds up throughout the stream. If not, I do apologise in advance. I know it's a bit of a lower bit rate today, not really sure why. We couldn't fix it in time before we absolutely had to go live, so my apologies in advance. Here comes the field here. And you see karting driver Kadeem Mohammed going round now. Round the parabolica, up to the line. Stand by for action. It's our second and final endurance race of the rebooted CTCC at the JSRA. They're coming up to green now. Stand by for the start. They're going, waiting. Green flag, away we go. And Tizwanto Adji has a drive through for jumping the start, but away they go off the line now as they head towards turn 1. Riding with Dominic Charles, and then they come up now. Kyle Barrett, going over the grass. It's 4 wide coming into the corner. Rohei Robinson, and it looks like they will get through okay. At least I'm hoping they get through okay. And they're all going nice and slowly. And and there's a crash behind Shashawn Falloon. Shashawn Falloon with a little crash there. Was it Shashawn Falloon? No, it's Chris Elliott. Excuse me, the other leopard car. Shashawn Falloon, an incident in turn 1, but not enough for a virtual safety car. I say that as I think we have a problem for Roger Keller, who I'm trying to find. And there he is, and we do now have a virtual safety car. Wow. And now Roger Keller decides to go back through the field. I don't think he's allowed to do that because he crashed out, but I'm not entirely certain. But, a couple of bits of action. I wish we had the helicopter cam there. That was quite something. That was quite something. That virtual safety car, we thought it might happen. It did happen right off the top. And again, I apologise with the funky camera views today. But try and work our way through it as the grid tries to form back up here together. Dominic Charles, still P1. Same with Rohei and Estefano. Kyle Barrett P4. Who was the biggest gainer and loser there? Raven Plummer lost the place, I believe. So, obviously, Chris Elliott P19 now. Unfortunate there. I thought it was Shashawn Falloon at the beginning there because they have the same livery, but I was mistaken. It's not going to be a no-stop race, Alec Whitehawk. No, indeed. It's going to be one stop for fuel. Or, you can try and do fuel saving, but that would be very risky. Very, very risky considering the pace. We've seen Raven Plummer do it before, so possibly someone could do it again, but still, very difficult. And speaking of which tyre compounds is everyone using? We have the medium and the hard. Which tyre compound is everyone using? Because that's, I have a feeling some people might be using the hard tyre compounds in this race. Going green again this time around. We haven't had a single full lap of racing yet. I'm just kind of testing out my camera views and see what I got. I don't have anything amazing. Oh well, it is what it is. But no, Alec Whitehawk, you can expect pit stops for these drivers in this race, absolutely. So coming on down towards the Parabolica again, he's going to lead them away. Haven't seen too much yet, just a little bit of action on lap number 1. Couple of spins, but nothing too dramatic. I thought it would be a huge pile-up, to be honest. Thankfully it was not. But a whole hour endurance race, our second of 2 this season. First one was out at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, which we absolutely enjoyed. It was such a treat to see the strategy at play, and when people did their pit stops and such. Here we go again. Take number 2, shall we? Let's take a look. Rohe in the mirror. And away we go. Green flag as Estefano Barrera looks to take something off the line. Let's see as they come towards turn 1 again. What's going to happen? Side by side now this time. Not 4 wide, but still 2, maybe 3 wide there in the middle as they come through into turn 1. Anything going to happen here? And it looks like we are going to be okay. Oh, little bit of action over the sausage curb and a spin for Jaden Harrison. Oh my goodness, Jaden Harrison with a spin. And he goes to the back of the pack. Oh my goodness, Jaden Harrison. The driver you would never want to see with a spin on the first lap of the race. Now he has to work through the field. And that is advantage Estefano Barrera. Oh my goodness. Right off the top as goes for the overtake through, and he does take it off of, what is that, turns 3 and 4 there. Wow. Now going through the Lesmos as we're watching on board with Jaden Harrison. Couple of side-by-sides coming through. Oh, and a little bit of a touch there with Rodrigo Wild, and he goes off. He goes off the track, and I don't know if Shashawn Falloon is as well. He is. Shashawn Falloon is off the track. So that's 2 drivers. And he will get going again. I think we're staying green. We are staying green. Only 2 drivers that time. But, another little bit of action at the back of the pack. Again, we'll have to watch that back on replay as well when we get back with Stephen in a couple of moments. I'm sure he's really busy at the moment. But wow. Couple of spins here early in the race. So through goes Kyle Barrett to the lead. Estefano Barrera second. Luis Daniel Velez third. And look at the side-by-side action behind Roger Keller there. And just behind Roger Keller, Michael McNamee, in the fight with Michael Thompson. Riley Curtis. All the bronze drivers together. Let's see as they come up towards turn 1. It's going to be really exciting. What do we have going on here? Coming up to the corner, it looks like they'll fall in line nicely. Hard on the brakes. And it does appear that Jaden Harrison has made up a couple of positions. Wow, fantastic action here. Fantastic. Michael McNamee through in P8. And then looking behind, it's a whole swath of cars. It's just going back 6, 7, 8 places, hounding him as Mateo Mejia as they work their way up now. And going through the little chicane, it's Mateo Mejia to P8 with a lovely little overtake. Very nice. Look at the fray back here. Riley Curtis now being hunted by Jaden Harrison, who's worked his way up halfway through the field already. Again, no ballast to hold him back. He's worked his way up in a lap, halfway through the field. My goodness, that is incredible. Might he be able to work his way at least up to Estefano Barrera, fight for something points-wise? It is mayhem early on here at Monza.
Absolutely. And I am back, Mark. What an interesting start to this race. Chaos there as... Oh my gosh.
Oh, still lots of action. Commodity, Eastman, and is that Chris Elliott there? They are just absolutely going at it. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely insane as I'm absolutely trying my best to catch as much as I can. My goodness, heading through the Parabolica now. And Kimoni Eastman still side by side there. And looks like he will slot in behind Dominic Charles.
Well, if you need an extra camera, I do have mine up and running for you. But wow, what a start to this race, Mark. I am already tired and we're not even past the 10-minute mark.
What did you think about the virtual safety car that was called, Stephen?
Absolutely chaos. Absolute chaos. First one, very wasn't the best moment, but nonetheless, I concede.
Well,
the racing has begun, and let's get to racing, as the racers have already gone racing.
I mean, you sound like you were very, very busy there a moment ago, and now you're finally catching your breath and ready to take in this hour-long endurance.
Absolutely, and as I said, we've only gone 9 minutes, almost about 7 minutes of racing so far. So, if this is anything to go off of, but nonetheless, Mark, what have you thought? I think you would have had a better look to the action.
Well, Chris Elliott, unfortunate there, spin, and then also we had Shishon Falloon just a moment ago. No safety car though, there was only 2 people involved there, and then, yeah, we didn't get enough for a third, for a second virtual safety car, but honestly, probably a good thing. It gets them running, and we want green flag running here. As we see some side-by-side action, excuse me, Stephen. Michael Thompson, and look at this, Rodrigo center wild. Michael Thompson looking to get on through up to Kimoni, and oh, we have a spin behind. Oh no! Oh, and that is indeed Rodrigo center wild, the Chilean driver. Oh, we were just talking about him, and he's still spinning round and round. Oh, no, no, no. It's all gone wrong for him.
And that is absolute heartbreak because he hasn't had the best run over the past few races, but I know he was looking forward to this one in particular. Monza is one of the more favored tracks. Actually riding along board with the AC karting drive of Riley Curtis, who's looking like he wants to make a move there on the Trinidadian drive of Mikhail Charles as I head down now into turn 1. He is on the outside. Will Mikhail concede it?
Oh,
no, he will not.
Mikhail takes it lovely through there, and that is the battling we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, fantastic. And so,
absolutely.
Yeah, that is great driving. Estefano Barrera and Rohei Robinson battling for P number 2 in this race. Oh, the little hits! And Rohei off the track, I believe, or he cut the track there on the overrun, and so Rohei goes through. I didn't see the full thing, but Rohei was side by side and there was contact, and through goes Luis Daniel Velez to P3 off of that incident. So Rohei, I don't know if he has to give it back or not, but contact, and away he goes through to P2, up looking to Kyle Barrett now.
If it's necessary, I'm sure we'll be getting it in the stewarding report. So if he hasn't given it up, clearly he feels like he had the right to. If anything, we know how the stewarding report typically goes, but that is Raven Plummer there on the rear end of the Bayesian driver, Mr. Kadi Mohammed, and she's looking and lurking, waiting for her moment to strike on the Bayesian driver in front of her. But, oh my gosh, there's so much fighting going on.
Indeed, just action everywhere. Raven Plummer, oh, a little bit of a cut back behind. That was kind of close, but she times it for the inside of the Parabolica. Is she going to push him wide? No, he goes wide on his own, and Raven just goes on through. Wow, I wonder if that is because it's a long race.
Well,
Wow.
nonetheless, that was a good move by her, but maybe this is strategy by Kadim. Maybe to use the Mitsubishi Lancer in front of her. Maybe not so much fight right now, but pull each other along. Let's fight down later down when the time gets to crunch time. But Raven there definitely looking like she wants to try and get back up. And if you remember, ooh, the two are fighting it out heading into
Yeah,
turn
Dominic
1, 2. I
Charles in the
know.
T1. My apologies, Stephen looking for 2. Oh, and he's not going to get it, although that was extremely exciting. If he had gotten 2 in one corner, it would have eaten my hat. That is quite something from Dominic Charles. Wow. And trying to fight his way back up the field. And, both him and Jaden with extremely unfortunate starts here early in this race. Did you see Jaden? He made up half the field in one lap, Stephen.
Wow.
That was crazy, without the ballast, mind you, but that was insane.
This is what we get used to with Jaden Harrison, though. He did have a mechanical failure at the start of the race, which is why he had to drop back all the way down to last. So, because
I thought he had a spin. Oh, okay. I thought he had a spin. That's why he was off. Okay. So it was because of a mechanical issue. Is why.
Right.
Okay.
So he had an issue with his throttle pedal, and that caused him to have to pull to the side and concede his positions.
Still battling, going behind Michael McNamee here. Coming up on Variante Ascari now. And it looks like he'll work his way on through using all of that curb, by the way. Lovely Italian flagged curbs on this circuit. Working his way through. Lovely. And remember, it is, I think, still 7 track cuts. Is that correct, Stephen? Still 7 before the drive-through penalty, or is it back to 5?
It is back to 5.
Oh, it is back to 5. Okay, it was 7
Right.
last time at Qatar, but that was a one-off then for that race then.
Yes, because of the stringent track cut warnings, we decided to increase it, but we're back to 5 for this week, so
Okay, my apologies.
back on the stricter side of things. I should have mentioned it in the driver briefing for you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Carl Barrett still P1 by a couple of seconds. Rohe is catching up now every single lap. In fact, a second quicker than Kyle Barrett just about. That is absolutely insane. So Kyle Barrett, then Rohe Robinson, and then Luis Daniel Velez is P3 at the moment, just behind him, and that's who we're going to be watching when it comes to strategy later on in the race, because we presume they're going to have a pit stop.
Well, we did see it with Raven Plummer, who decided in the first endurance race that she wasn't going to pit. So, hey, it's all down to strategy, Mark. I am very, very excited to see what will happen this evening, though.
Yeah, I did indeed mention that at the beginning, that Raven Plummer had done it before. She can very well do it again, but also other people could have learned, and they might do it again too, or do it for the first time rather. So I'm not going to count anyone out here. Best strategy wins. Let's see how it goes, right, Stephen?
Absolutely. And again, we can monitor the pit stops. So far, I see one driver in the pits. That's Sashan Falloon. So definitely going to see where his strategy is coming into play. I am noticing as well Tizwanta Aji in the wall. So
oh no, Tizwanto Adji, yes indeed, P18, and looking to go by now is Rodrigo Senna Wild and Will, and it just bad goes to worse for Tizwanto in this series, Stephen.
But Kimani Eastman doing a little bit of bump draft in there with John Singleton as they head down now into the penultimate corner. I'm sure these two will be fighting it out for the majority of this race. Remember, Mark, points do go up to P12, so Dominic Charles is in points position, and it is 1.5 points this evening, so never count them out.
Well, yeah,
and
well, 1 point so far. He has to make a few more up if he's going to be competitive. Remember, Stephen, with Estefano Barrera. Yeah,
absolutely. But Dominic is somebody who we've seen to really show pace and loves to fight through the, well, I'm not going to say loves, but does show pace when he has to fight through the pack. So definitely a driver to look forward to in the latter stages of this race. Remember, there is no ballast, so raw pace will be the differentiating factor tonight. Jaden Harrison, though, is in P8, still hasn't made up many inroads as he now makes contact with, who was that, Roger
Roger
Keller.
Keller off the track, and Roger Keller is going to fall out of the points now. Oh, well, not quite. He's P12, but very close. Well, now he is, as Michael McNamee goes by. Oh, and almost hits John Singleton there. That was a little close, and that might be a review later on as we look here just behind his car. Wow, that was quite something.
That was quite something because it
be
wasn't just
careful.
one car, it was 3 cars.
Be very,
like
very
they're-
careful there, Mister. I mean, Keller. I know you just had that incident, but try and stay out of everyone else's business. It is very important that you do so because penalty points. Remember, that is important.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And remember, he already had a race ban, or it was not race ban, excuse me, a
the
qualifying ban.
qualifying ban, right?
He could get
So
another
you
one if he
definitely-
does more infractions.
Well, the next one up is a race ban, so let's hope that that doesn't come to fruition. But there's now a 5-car battle here, Mark, between Roger Keller, Michael Thompson, Kimani Eastman,
Yeah.
and Michael McNamee. So this is going to be a fight that we're gonna
Whoa.
definitely hope that there's not any drama.
Little slide
Maybe
from
these-
Roger Keller there, but otherwise, otherwise okay. They fall in line. Oh, and here he comes to the pit lane. Roger Keller, because of that incident, do you think he's going to spice something up with his strategy, Stephen?
Well, let's see. At this point, fill your tank, throw on some hot tires, and go on to the end.
And absolutely, it's hard tires, the strategy for this track. Is that right, Stephen?
Well, it again just depends on your strategy. If you want to go hard and then just put a little bit of fuel, but fuel is what takes longer here. So I can see some persons going on medium, some persons going on one set of tires and one tank of gas. It just depends on their strategy.
Roger
But
Keller,
so far,
Roger Keller goes out of the pit lane P18, so he's going to have to try and make that stick for the very rest of the race and try and take advantage when everyone else pits, Stephen, then.
absolutely. Rohey Robinson last week was one of those drivers that counted himself out of the championship, but now sits in P2 with Daniel Velez right behind him and Cal Barrett in front. 1.5 points for this evening's race. So will Rohey be able to throw a little bit of drama here this evening, Mark? He's only 2 seconds off of Cal Barrett. Estefano is in P4 and his next closest competitor in P7. So will this, as you said, this could be the turning point. It could be the...
Oh, Mikhail Charles, the drive-through for cutting already. 5 track cuts already for Mikhail Charles, and they get a drive-through, and that's going to be unfortunate for him.
Ouch. And you know, you've seen him forget about those penalties and just enjoy the racing until he gets kicked. So hopefully he will be reminded this week of that. But yeah.
Oh, really? Didn't he? Well, because remember last time some
There he
people
goes.
did get
Went
kicked.
for his drive-through.
Yeah, I was going to say last time some people did get kicked. They didn't serve their drive-throughs for whatever reason, or they didn't realize how to do it properly. And so, yeah, hopefully this time they do get it right. They don't stop in their pit box. They don't do anything silly. And it does appear that Mikhail Charles is going to do this correctly, Stephen.
Absolutely. Luckily, the drive-through is a little bit easier. Stop and go is the one where you don't stop in your pit box, but
Oh,
yeah,
little bit
drivers
of
learning.
action. Michael McNamee there had to go hard on the brakes to avoid slamming into Michael Thompson ahead. And Shashawn Falloon has a stop and go 10-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. So Shashawn Falloon, and there's a problem again with Chris Elliott, I think it was, or it looked like there was. Oh, excuse me, maybe there wasn't. I thought Chris Elliott had another off there. Never mind.
Not sure.
No, I
But
think
I'm
he
gonna
was just slow
run.
into it. Never mind,
I'm
excuse
gonna run
me.
and I'm gonna run until just remind Sashawn how to take that drive, that stop and go penalty, just in case. So I will be right back.
Okay, well, Tezwanto Aji, last place. They're making their way through now after the drive-through. We're still watching this battle here. Kimani Eastman working his way on John Singleton now. And let me, oh, by the way, turn off the picture-in-picture just for a moment, or maybe turn on the bonnet view. Yeah, so we're trying to show as much of the race as we can. As much of the race as we can. Without there being a problem. And it does appear now that they're going to be taking that stop-and-go penalty. Shashawn Falloon. Oh, is Shashawn Falloon off the track? Never mind. Shashawn Falloon and yellow in the area, not on the track fully. He's kind of off on his own in the Lesmos there. Lesmo 1 and works his way forward again. Again, excuse me about the camera views. I'm trying to get something good. But, oh, unfortunate for Shashawn Falloon. Again, still has to work his way in. Let's go back to that battle with Michael Thompson as he narrowly avoids Kearney Eastman there into corner 1. And right behind is Michael McNamee. Still this battle going together. Singleton, Eastman, Thompson and McNamee together. This is quite something. Battling for the edge of the points. Again, Shashinder Singh, hello, welcome on in. I do apologise about the bitrate tonight. Usually it's a nice, clean, crisp 6,000. For whatever reason, it's just not working tonight, my internet properly. So I don't know what's going on. I really couldn't tell you. I'm so sorry about that. But unfortunately, this is just the bitrate that's showing me. I don't know what to do. The settings and OBS are all the same. I really couldn't tell you what changed. So just maybe the ISP is having some issues tonight. It could be just that. Either way, unfortunately, this is what you have. So I'm sorry about that. And I did apologize about that earlier too. So it is how it is. Hopefully it gets improved again for next week. Or not next week, actually. I'm not here next week. Stephen will be doing it next week. But hopefully for round 8. Okay, still going on through. Still enjoying this lovely battle here. Lap after lap. See who uses their boost more effectively. That's what will make the difference in this little pack. That's for sure. And Rohe. Oh, a little lockup from Kearney. And Rohe is just about a second back now. Shashawn Falloon takes the stop and go properly. Thanks to Stephen for helping him out. Luis Daniel Velez is a few seconds back then to third. So the battle for the lead is still going on. It's still quite interesting here in this as Kearney Eastman looks to go on the inside, dive on down. And what do we have here? We have a lovely, lovely save by Kearney Eastman into corner number 1. I thought that might be a little chaos, but no, it's okay. And John Singleton behind. Still looking on Kearney there. So Kearney P10, Singleton P11, now Thompson P12. And they're about 2 seconds back of the leaders per lap. So it should thin out quite a bit. Might even see some lap traffic in this race. Oh, lovely move going here by Michael McNamee as he had a lovely run out of... Oh, and there's a little hit, and off he goes. I thought that looked like netcode, but there was a little hit, and it looked like they managed to keep it again, and there was someone slow in the corner there. Who is that? That's, oh, that's lap traffic, I think that is. Was that Shashawn Falloon? Might have been Shashawn Falloon, or Tizwanto Adji. I'm not, well, not Tizwanto, he's red, so I don't know. But, one of the lap traffic cars. Rohe Robinson now quickest lap of the race of 59.453. So he is catching Kyle Barrett now, little by little each lap. Once again, a 20 car grid for this race, the exact same as what we had out in Qatar. So, and welcome back, Stephen.
I am back. Sorry about that.
So, well, you guided Shashawn Falloon successfully, so well done with that. Doesn't get kicked from the race. What did Shashawn Falloon think about getting kicked into the corner side by side last time out? Did they say?
Getting what? Sorry?
Remember when they got kicked in Qatar
Oh, you
into
mean
the
on
first
on the
corner
sail?
because
Uh,
they
he
failed to they failed to
he
do the penalty.
he did not know that he had a penalty apparently, and so he was a little bit upset thinking that we kicked him. So he was wondering what had happened there. But
Oh.
after we explained to him, he said okay, because he did stop and go. It's just he stopped in his pit box, so the penalty wasn't
Exactly.
served.
Real penalty
Right,
it cannot work if you stop in your pit box, even though that's what you do in real life, folks. And
right,
maybe he was thinking that's how it works here as well. Unfortunately,
absolutely.
the way the logic of the code is, you have to stop outside the pit box and then
Right.
go forward. And that's because when you stop in your pit box on Assetto Corsa, it actually starts doing a pit stop of some kind.
Exactly.
Real penalty just for whatever reason it can't operate properly, and so yes, so that's why. And so now he knows, and thankfully he avoided it.
Thankfully.
Well, I mean, we won't want to see him kicked again. I mean, for goodness sakes, he could be on for something. You never know.
Absolutely.
Race is an
He was
hour
on
long.
for-
You never know.
He was on for his best race last week, and that happened. So, but as he said, the person who I'm watching now, Mark, is Mr. Robinson chasing down Kyle Barrett there. So Rohe, we've known as a master of Monza and Brands Hatch. Those are his two favorite tracks. So he is hunting down that Ford Focus in front of him, and boy, he's getting ever so close, lap after lap,
I
and
mean,
we've
yeah, it's,
about to reach to the halfway point. So what can come of this battle in the dying stages? Will strategy come into play? Something similar to Monza
we have
last
something
year.
happening behind. Someone got hit. I don't know who it is, but someone got hit in turn 1, I think, and now they've gotten on going again. I don't know who that was there, but someone got hit in turn 1. I saw on the track map. My apologies, Stephen. But Rohe, yeah, second quicker, just about every single lap. So he's caught up to Kyle Barrett now. That was like 3, 4, 5 seconds before. Now it's round about 0.7 of a second, and as they go through Lesmo 2, I mean, he's right there, Stephen. Is Rohe looking for revenge after what happened last time?
Only time can tell. Only time can tell. So let's see what happens, and we'll take it from there.
Try my absolute best to get the onboard audio from Stephen's POV, but if we don't, I do apologise. And so Rohe, now 0.4. He might have a person to turn 1 if we're lucky, Stephen. This is coming up really soon, as we're halfway through the race now. Can you believe we're halfway?
I actually can't. And again, it's just how strategic Rohe can be. He waits on his moment to pounce, and again, right now, he's there just hounding the rear end of that neon yellow Ford Focus. So, hey, let's see where he will make that move. I'm sure he, at this point, is just kind of picking his nose. Just say, hey, Kyle, just know that I'm here, and this is one of my favorite tracks. But Kyle, though, who we've seen as a master defender, so let's definitely look forward to seeing. But there you see Rohe even coasting extra early and on the brakes even later
And
than Kyle
taking
there. So
all of that sausage curve, whereas Barrett is
Absolutely.
not. And real penalty will not penalise you if you take this sausage curve. And these curves, it's not Formula 1, mate. You can take that sausage curve. You do not have to go wide. You're going to lose so much lap time. In fact, I reckon it'd be 3-4 tenths of a second in a corner if you do that. So this is Rohe now playing the long game and saving fuel as Mejia gets a drive through for cutting.
So, Mark, now is where we're going to see the adaptability of the drivers, because Kyle there, as we just saw, used up those sausage curbs. So has he noticed a thing now that he has the rear end of Rohe right, or the front end of Rohe right there in his rear view mirror? Is that a blue flag?
Well, yes, indeed it is, for lap traffic coming up. But if you're smart about it, yes, he will have learned by looking in the rear view. Although this is sim racing, and we're not completely professional drivers here. It's not necessarily as easy to learn. We'll see.
Does race in real life, so yeah,
he does.
You are looking at
Well, not everyone.
Yeah,
I
so
meant in general.
That's where
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, that's where you're going to see the adaptability of the Carters as they prolong these races and go on and on. But I'm just going to give some blue flag warnings to Sashawn there in front of Kyle and the two race leaders. So I'll be right back again.
And so here we come up to the Parabolica. Yes, indeed, blue flags. That's been going on for a bit already, though, as we might have some action into turn 1 if we are lucky here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Rohe can do as they cross the start-finish line right now. And they come on down the long front straightaway, crossing the pit lane line, and he does get out of the way rather early. I wonder if that was an instruction formally from Stephen.
It absolutely was not. I'm still here watching along. So,
Oh, there you go.
No. And there you go. Seeing Kyle using up that sausage curb on the turn 1. So hey, let's see. Maybe he's picked up on a thing or two, or maybe he's just picked up the pace a little bit more. Maybe he was doing a little bit of fuel saving because his pace looks immaculate, and he started on P2. If I remember correctly, with a very good lap.
2:03. That's much slower than it was literally a couple laps ago, as John Singleton gets a drive through for cutting now. Lots of drivers getting on the penalty board. Kyle Barrett, though, yeah, he's quick, and we know he's quick, but I think these are both drivers just playing strategy and keeping it cool.
Absolutely. And that's the point. Like they look like they're now looking at the time and saying, hey, there's no reason to necessarily fight right now. If we can go the long game, or maybe even force one driver to use up a little bit more fuel than he would have wanted, as you saw Rohe Robinson earlier coasting into the corners, will this be the strategy at play for one driver or both? Because you can see Rohe not sticking too much in the slipstream of the car ahead, just kind of keeping him at bay and just saying, here, let me just ride along there, keep as close as I can. With 25 minutes to go, Mark, this is gonna get very interesting.
Absolutely. 25 minutes, 17 laps through. Can you believe it's 17 laps too? We have a lot of laps in this race that we just don't normally have, and so this is a lot of opportunity to get things mastered, get things right.
I'm sorry, but Jaden Harrison and Kadeem Mohammed are now battling it out. They just passed some blue flags there in a Honda Civic, and there goes Jaden again. Looking very late on the brakes, but again, coasting. It works, and he gets a better exit. Now we'll get the run on Kadeem Mohammed. Will there be a little bit of bump drafting? There you go. There it goes. Pushes him along and pulls him along at the same time. A turn 1 move. Will that be the case here, Mark?
I think there might be something. Let's see, Jaden Harrison, he's worked his way up through the fields. Can he make it back up to P5? It looks like he will, very clearly. Wow, great overtake there by Jaden Harrison, and off the road. Oh no! Off the road there is a driver. Is that lap traffic? I don't know who that is, but someone off the road.
Like lap traffic.
As
well as Kyle Barrett has actually taken his pit stop. So he is coming out to the pits now.
In P11.
So did he do a splash and dash there, Mark?
That was very quick, because I didn't even see it.
Very quick.
So Kyle Barrett now, he crosses the white line. Oh no, that's going to be a penalty. Oh, you can't do that.
I don't think real penalty counts that, so he should be fine.
If he'd be extremely lucky if real penalty doesn't, because that white line goes, and this is different from most tracks, I will give it to him. The white line goes all the way down practically to the corner. All the way down, you could clearly see it there. It's not like you can't see it, it's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I would have played it safe if it was me, and especially realism, I would have done it anyway. But he crosses there, and I guess we'll just find out.
I guess we'll just find out.
and he cuts there. That'll be another cut warning for him there towards his next.
Jaden now is hunting down the likes of Raven Plummer, only 3 seconds. So Jaden is actually looking at the podium right now, Mark. Only about 4 seconds away.
This is incredible.
So
the whole field in one hour race. I mean, can you believe this? This is a masterclass from Jaden Harrison.
Absolutely. Something that we've gotten accustomed to with Dominic Charles only 2 positions behind. So he's also one that we'll be watching for in the latter stages. But Jaden can see P4, P3 and P2. So he has the possibility, Mark, to get up into the top 2 of this race with 23 minutes to go. This is going to be the action that we're going to be watching. Did Kyle do the right strategy? Did Rohe force him there to have to take a little bit of extra fuel out of his laps, a little bit of time out of his tires? Only time will tell, but maybe Kyle just put just enough to last him until the end plus 1 lap. This is going to be a very epic end to this race.
Oh, these are the questions we are getting the answers to now, Stephen. What about Luis Daniel Velez? He is 10 seconds back of Rohe Robinson. Can he do something now that he has some clear track space in front of him?
Well, I think he's more concerned about the cars behind him than the cars in front, so I'm sure he'll be just trying his best to get away as possible and as quickly as possible. He's had a good race so far, kept it clean, had a very good pace all throughout. And as a matter of fact, sorry to cut myself, but Dominic Charles there is right on the rear end of Kadim Mohammed, if I did see so.
Yeah,
yep,
he is
I did
indeed.
Correctly.
He is indeed. Dominic Charles P7 now, and remember the incident he had earlier. So Dominic Charles coming up on Kadim Mohammed, who is having a better race this time than most times, but we'll see how he finishes, obviously, before making conclusions. But Dominic Charles, he might have it on the outside up here. I mean, look at this. He has the slipstream, he had the slipstream. He now has the speed, and he has maybe the outside of the parabolica to help him. Round he goes and gets it done. Well done, Dominic Charles. Wow.
Absolutely epic move by the Trinidadian. Time in the rear view of Jaden Harrison not too long ago, but clearly these two are going to be fighting it out for the duration of this race. But Dominic needs to put a little bit more oomph in his step if he wants to get closer to that podium. I'm sure even Raven, who is now seeing Jaden Harrison right there in her rear view, as well as Estefano and Jaden were two fighting it out last week. And I don't know if you remember that major incident that the two were going and fighting it out until the last second of the race. So will we have a repeat here? The two drivers are friends, but on track there's not really much room for friendship, as the two will definitely be fighting it out. And
Raven Plummer, I could imagine she was fuming about that, although I admittedly did not get her reaction live. I didn't get a chance to ask her either after the race, but yeah, she had that incident in turn 1, if you recall, right towards the end of the race. And so and then that was not her only incident, obviously there was lap 1 as well. Yeah, so this is her time to put all of that anger out on the track. And that's what she does. So she doesn't take it out on people in the voice chat necessarily. She just puts it all out on the track. So this has to be her moment here. She might already be out of the possible win for the championship, because she is about 100 points back or so in the championship. But she can at least do something sizable and get some real cash money at the end.
That's the thing. Points go up to 8th position, and this evening is 1.5 points mark. So capitalize where you can, and you have 2 more rounds to go. Anything can happen. Get as many points, how much money you can earn from it. This is only one tour, and we will have many more. We have 3 more coming up for the rest of the year, and this one has been absolutely epic, if I do say so myself. So I cannot wait to see the conclusion of this as we head out and close out the season and head into the next. But as we're in this one right now, the points are still up for grabs, money is still up for grabs, and right now, Mark, P4 is up for grabs because Jaden Harrison has found it on the rear end of that Mitsubishi Lancer and is looking very racy here this evening.
As Kadim Mohammed takes his pit stop now, he'll fall down the order, a fairly late one for him. Here comes Jaden Harrison now on the back of the Mitsubishi Lancer, and here comes Jaden Harrison in the grey car into the corner, and he will get it. Raven does not have the answer, and well done Jaden Harrison, P4 from essentially P19 from the beginning of the race. Stephen, this is incredible.
Absolutely. And he is still not done. 18 minutes remaining, and he is about 3 seconds off of the car ahead, and I'm sure he would love to finish in front of him after the results of last week. So, hey, only time will tell, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing what will
Oh,
come.
someone off the track. Is it lap traffic? I think it is. Oh, unfortunate there, and that was probably Shashawn Falloon. It is Shashawn Falloon off the track, and almost interfered there, but they did avoid, and just bad to worse for Shashawn Falloon. Oh, unfortunate. Oh, look at Kyle Barrett side by side there. We just saw the end of that with Michael Thompson. This battle for P10, man, this has been going on all race.
So the thing now that I'm wondering, Mark, Kyle did pit.
Yes, it wasn't Kyle Barrett earlier.
Oh, Jaden Harrison into the pits, Mark. Jaden Harrison into the pits.
Oh, and Raven
Rohei
Plummer
Robinson as well.
And
is in the pits.
Oh, so Rohei in, and so that means Raven Plummer goes P3 temporarily. This is where the strategy starts to play out. She will either keep this up, or she will fall back with the quicker drivers behind once they finish their pit stop. So Plummer and then Barrera P2, Velas P1 still, and they haven't stopped either, Stephen. So, oh boy, it's happening now.
Well, I'm watching, and it was, I mean, this was a perfect timing to answer my question, because I wanted to see Kyle and where he would have ended up coming with the cars ahead of them heading into the pits. There is Jaden Harrison. Is that Jaden exiting the pits?
And Jaden is exiting the pits. Here we go to turn 1, and crossing there is going to be Michael McNamee. So Jaden P9 essentially out of the pits. Wow, and cold tires, don't forget, for Jaden Harrison. So he's on the back now. Mikel Charles on the back, excuse me, of him. So this will be for about a lap or so while he gets his tires up to temperature. A little bump even there, as he's just so slow through turn number 3, Stephen. I mean, Jaden Harrison, oh, he's going to get pursed even here. I mean, my goodness, how cold are these tires?
This is not what you want. And I'm sure Jaden would be fuming, because these two are supposedly friends. But again, you can be friends off track, but on track, sir, I'm going for my money. And there's Jaden Harrison being hounded by even Michael Thompson and Kyle Barrett there, who has now made his way up into the picture. So,
almost there hits! Almost a hit! Almost! I mean, Kyle Barrett came real close. But no, thankfully, it was just a little tap and everything's fine. Or it was netcode, but I'm not entirely certain. Obviously, the survey, you know, you never know for sure. But, oh boy, that was nearly a big incident. And dive bombing the corner is Kyle Barrett, but he's not going to make the move stick, as obviously it's very wide.
Coming here, I believe he should.
Well, he might. No, I don't think his exit gave him enough speed, Stephen. So Kyle Barrett, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything on Michael Thompson here. Not yet, anyway.
Raven Plummer is now exiting the pits as well. So will this have been the right move for Jaden Harrison? Because he's now coming out to the penultimate corner, and Raven is basically driving out to the pits. So was that a mistake there for Jaden Harrison this evening? Himself and Kyle Barrett, two drivers who were in the top 4, now barely in the top 10.
I mean, you said this at the beginning. You don't want to throw away your season or your crown, as he said. Jaden Harrison might be throwing it away right now. I can't believe it. Oh, and nearly an incident there as Kyle Barrett gets ahead of Michael Thompson, and that was nearly a big incident, as there was a difference in speed there, quite a difference in speed, and Jaden Harrison pulls away from them. Stephen, I mean, is he throwing it away?
Well, he's following his strategy. He had to go into the pits. He took his pit stop. Now it's just to watch and see who did the right fuel saving, who is doing what. Because right now, Luis Daniel Velez is looking very dominant.
And a spin behind! A spin behind for one of the drivers. I didn't see who it was exactly, but I saw someone was off the track, and it was in towards the back of the pack. I don't know who it was. But oh my goodness, someone was off, and just more incidents. I don't know, it was a red and white car, but it wasn't Dominic Charles, obviously. It was maybe Roger Keller, but I'm not sure. Something happened.
And there goes Dominic Charles now entering into the pits. So watching Jaden Harrison now, who is still not even through. We'll see
Oh, and
enough
a
time
big
for him, but
slide from Mikhail. So, yeah, they're going through now Ascari and they're going down the long straight. And so you're saying, Stephen, they're nowhere close.
right, well, getting close enough, but Dominic Charles is now exiting his pit box, so he has 50 miles per hour to go down this pit lane. I'm not entirely sure where Jaden them are coming out to the final corner, so
Yeah, indeed. They are coming out the final corner now, the Parabolica. And Jaden Harrison, whoa, he went way right and then way left. I don't know if he was trying to dummy a pit stop. No, he couldn't have. But something went wrong there for Jaden and he narrowly avoided disaster with the barrier. What the heck was that?
well, what's crazy to me now is Calbert, who was very comfortable in P1, now sits in P8. Jaden Harrison was in P4, now sits in P7. He has Riley Curtis, Estefano Barrera, and Luis Daniel Velez, who have not pitted so far. Will they pit, or will they just hold out
If
as
they
best as they
do,
can?
it's really, really late, and I don't fancy it at this point. I think your window is probably halfway through the race, Stephen, and if you didn't do it before like maybe 20 minutes to go, that's it. So I think Velez is, and Barrera especially, because Barrera is generally quicker. I think they are the two on for the win right now.
Well, it's as long as the fuel will hold up, Mark. That's the biggest problem.
Correct, and
So
they were.
It's not necessarily the tires; it's more the fuel than the
And they were
tires at this
maxed out.
point.
They were maxed out on fuel to start the race, I was hearing.
Absolutely.
So they basically have to coast on their final laps, keep it. They have a gap right now. Rohei Robinson is 15 seconds back. But
I'm sorry, Jaden made a move on Dominic. I missed that.
he's
But Jaden is now in
P6, P6, and that must have just happened out of view because we just went through Ascari, so it might have just happened there. And so Jaden Harrison P6. It's not completely over, but I mean for the win though, Stephen, is the question. I don't know about that. We'll have to see. If it is,
At the moment, if there's anybody to win outside of the top three, it's gonna be Rohei Robinson. Rohei has pitted and sits very comfortably, only 12 seconds
Indeed.
behind Estefano. So he
Oh.
would be the one looking like he would take this win. Riley Curtis is in the pits. So that
Yeah.
will be one extra promotion for Dominic, Jaden, and Kyle, as well as Kadeem. So right now, the only
Dominic
two drivers.
Sorry, go ahead, Stephen. I was just
Yeah, the
reacting.
only two drivers who haven't pitted are Estefano and Luis Daniel Velez out of the top 10.
And there was a little bit of a mistake by Jaden Harrison out of corner 2 there. He hit the curbing, got unsettled, and then nearly hit the sand trap. And so Dominic Charles had, well, I thought he was going to get a better exit, but maybe he had a little mistake of his own, maybe following. And so Jaden Harrison still P5, but Jaden Harrison, maybe he got the strategy right. Maybe I just didn't really understand it.
Did you say Jaden got it right?
P5. He's going to be up there with Rohei. That's for sure. Rohei maybe got it the mostest right, if we had to be technical. But I mean, Jaden Harrison and Raven Plummer, they might be the other two as well. They
All right,
did the pit
Daniel
stop.
Velez is in the pits. Estefano right behind him. So the two Colombians
Oh,
are
wow.
now heading into the pits. Rohei Robinson will take the
Wow,
lead of
wow.
this race here. In the closing stages, Raven Plummer needs to get the move on. But right now, Estefano, is he already coming out to the pits? No, he's
Estefano
entering in his
is
pit box
entering now. He's entering. I can't believe they're doing this, Stephen. This is way too late. 8 minutes to go.
Run the fuel down as low as you can, bro. At this point.
Rohei goes into P1, clear of Velez by a full 10 plus seconds. But
Guess what? Their strategy worked, Mark, because Luis Daniel Velez is now in P2 and Estefano in P3. So they've lost one position each. That was the move of that was an ideal strategy. Jaden Harrison, who was in P4 and was right there on the rear bumper of Luis and Estefano, did lose out. Dominic Charles now and Jaden will be fighting, heading down now into turn 1. The two are heading and close the door goes Jaden Harrison.
Very close. And and nearly cutting him off again, and Jaden still surviving, fighting like a lion, as he said last time out, Stephen. And so, wow, this is a great finish we're going to get to here in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Look
But
at
as
this
it stands,
strategy playing out.
It looks like the top three's strategy was perfect. Raven Plummer, who also was overtaken by Jaden Harrison, she looks much better right now, about 7 seconds in front of Jaden Harrison, who is being hounded by the Trinidadian driver. So who made the right decision right now? It looks like the two Colombians, the Jamaican and the American driver. The Trinidadian and the Jamaican, who had to fight it out from last position, will fight it out now for the last 7.5 minutes, Mark.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so the battle for P6 is what we are looking at right now. It's the main battle. Dominic Charles and Kyle Barrett and Jaden Harrison here. This is the big one. So, coming through. Dominic looking on the rear. Still nothing. Jaden defending like crazy. There's nothing we can see for Dominic Charles. He has the slipstream here, but can he get it done on the outside of the Parabolica is the question. I mean, look, he's cutting him off. Jaden Harrison. I think he brake checked him right there, because that is not where the braking zone is. Well,
that wasn't a brake. That looked like not netcode, but networking issue.
I really hope so. I really hope so. I thought I saw the brake light go on, but nonetheless, still defending Dominic Charles here. And the second opportunity, because there's so many overtaking opportunities, it's here into turn 1. Let's see what he can do on the outside. The little tap, and he goes off. Dominic Charles has to go through the barrier, and so...
Guess who's right behind, watching, sorry to cut you.
It's
Kyle
Barrett. Kyle Barrett right behind
Jaden.
Yeah, right behind Jaden, and Dominic Charles. He didn't give back the time, did he? Jaden Harrison is now behind by 1.5 seconds. So might that be something for Dominic Charles at the end of the race? Surely if he goes through like that, he has to give back the time as well, right?
There, it is typically stated, so I won't say much more here, but yeah, I'm 99. I'm sure the stewards will be taking a look at that at the end of this race.
I really hope that doesn't make the difference between Jaden and Dominic in the final standings there, but it could be. This is just so incredibly close for the championship. Our other driver is Estefano Barrera, and it looks like he could be well clear of them after this. Chris Elliott drive through for speeding, and it just gets bad to worse for Chris Elliott as he comes into the pit lane. Just so unfortunate there. 5 minutes to go now. 5 minutes. Again, it's Rohei Robinson, followed by Luis Daniel Velez. Then after that, we have Estefano Barrera in P3. Then Raven Plummer, P4. She did a pit stop this time, but did she get the strategy right? I don't know. That's a question we'll have to get answered. And Dominic Charles, P5. Harrison, P6 right now, Stephen. The end is coming soon. And Jaden Harrison... They really take the inside there. They actually go outside the white line, which I guess is allowed by real penalty, but technically outside the real life track limits there on the front straightaway. Can you hear me okay, Stephen?
Absolutely.
Okay, I was wondering. Just making sure, because I wasn't sure if you popped out for race control or whatnot, but...
No, man, I'm right here looking through the race as you've been commentating. But... Yep, with 5 or 4 minutes remaining, this is kind of an anticlimactic finish. I was looking forward to that battle between Dominic and Jaden. I'd hate that the results be...
it's not. We're not going to know until after the race anyway, so we might as well call it as nothing is going to be called. So if we stick with that, then...
No, well, I'm just saying, like, I wanted to know that they were close, so... a little bit closer, as you see Chris just pulling over to the side there to allow the two drivers to get back to their action. But Jaden is inching closer and closer as the lap goes on. But yeah, Kyle Barrett there thought he was in the running there. But
he's kind of fell off a little bit. I wonder if he's running out of fuel, because that would be the only reason. Otherwise, he'd be very, very much quicker than the 2010. That's for sure. Absolutely, as he now comes up on, what was that, Chris Elliott, and Chris Elliott goes off for him, actually. Not the ideal way of doing the blue flag, but there we are. And we're still getting this battle down the straight up here. But Jaden, I mean, Jaden's not fighting Dominic for this corner coming up. So has he backed off a bit? I think he has. 2-minute point 4, but... Well, Dominic's at 58.8, so surely he should be good on fuel now if he's pulling those lap times.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly. So we'll watch it and we'll see. We have 2.5
well,
minutes
excuse
remaining.
me. Jaden Harrison pulls the quickest lap right as we said that. So Jaden now 7/10 quicker than Dominic on that lap. So never mind. He must have been further back beforehand even. I thought he fell back a bit on Dominic, but my apologies. So Jaden Harrison.
Jaden pushing, and on his way and on a hunt. I am watching Matteo chase down Riley Curtis, and they do make contact there. Ouch.
And Matteo is through at the moment for the time being. But yeah, that is something I missed on my end. Hopefully the picture caught that. But wow.
It absolutely did.
Riley Curtis though. Oh, Michael McNamee a drive through for cutting. Oh, and that pushes him well out of the points now. Oh, unfortunate for Michael McNamee. He was having high hopes into this race on the return. And whoa, way too deep. Is Matoma here coming across? Oh, and don't hit him. Oh, thankfully he didn't. He slowed up. Oh, but now there's a big hit. And into the barriers, Matoma here. Oh, no. Oh.
Sir. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and Matteo Mejia almost hits Michael Thompson as he rejoins. And that will definitely be looked at. He's out the points anyway, but that will definitely be looked at by the stewards.
Oh, absolutely.
As
that looked very...
I got a bit of a survey to you there, but we're okay now. And crossing the line, presumably for the second to final lap, Stephen, because we do have the overtime, the plus a lap on top.
Absolutely, and this looks like Rohe would clean sweep the endurance races for this season.
Wow.
He said it last week that he was out of the running for the championship. I'm sure he has the biggest smile on his face right now after his performance last week, but hopefully that's not the commentator's curse and we can see him
yeah, don't say it just yet. Don't say it just yet. We still have half a minute to go and 2 minutes on top of that for the final lap.
Absolutely.
So well, that'll fully be on you if he does run out of fuel. But Rohe Robinson, he is absolutely wowing me this time. I was very, I guess you could say, agitated with him last time with his performance. But this time he is more than making up for it. Rohe Robinson in the purple go-go car just absolutely destroying everyone right now with his strategy. So if we had to give driver of the day, it probably would go to Rohe in the end, not just for winning the race but for getting the strategy right. And so all he has to do is bring it around to 1.5 times more.
Absolutely. And Jaden there did get a run, but looked like he cut the corner and had to back out to lose that track cut warning. Maybe he's on his last one. So unfortunate for him there. But again, even he and Dominic would be in the running, in my opinion, for driver of the day as well, as they definitely fighting from the back of the pack to the top 6. And then Raven Plummer and Estefano and Luis Daniel Velez with their strategy playing it out. I mean, this could go either way. But what a race this has been. Jaden Harrison there looking like he's even running out of fuel, because I saw him doing a lot of coasting there. So
we have Rohe Robinson coming around now to start the final lap of the race. Harrison drive through for cutting. Oh, and that's either going to be added on to his time at the end, or
he takes the drive through.
I don't know. Well, it's a final lap now. I don't know if it'd be a wise idea at this point. I think he should just take the time. But either way, Rohe Robinson has one more lap to go. Oh.
If it was me, I would just take the drive through, lose one certain position as you see him going into the pits now.
Okay.
And there goes Jaden into the wall at the
and
pit
Jaden
entry.
Harrison is in the barrier, right, Stephen? Oh, and now he's sideways, and this is heartbreaking. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, he gets it spun round, but he's going to lose more than one certain position, Stephen, with that mistake. Oh my goodness. For the championship implications.
I'm at a loss for words.
Rohei Robinson cuts the track there. You can't cut the track now. It's the end of the lap. End of the race, excuse me. You can't do it. Come on, Rohei. Can he get around in one piece? Because, again, it doesn't matter what real penalty says or what you do. It's a drive-through no matter what. So just... Oh, he slowed up there. I think he might have actually had a real penalty warning. But Rohei... 5 seconds to Luis Daniel Velez. Does he have enough fuel though, is the question now. Well, does everyone have enough fuel? This is it.
Right, because Daniel is shifting early, man. And that is where the strategy comes into play. But this is the final lap. There you see Daniel coasting now with Estefano. Estefano looks like he has more fuel,
wow.
so he might be making that move on Daniel in the next few moments, because Daniel did go extra light on that last lap, so he's catching up. Will he be able to pass him at the line? And the Colombian action, Mark.
And Robinson is slowing up too, because now Luis Daniel Velez is looking on him to the final corner. Oh, I can't believe this. Into the Parabolica,
wow.
He's coming up on him. Rohei Robinson, does he have enough fuel? I can't believe this, Stephen. Who is going to win? Rohei Robinson coming up to the line. It's going to be... Oh my goodness! Oh, Luis Daniel Velez at the line! Oh my goodness!
Oh! To take P2.
Wow! Oh my goodness! Oh, can you believe it? What incredible drama! Oh wow! And it's still going on, Stephen. It's not over yet, as Raven Plummer is now up to P4. Well, Raven Plummer's finished, excuse me. Roger Keller, excuse me, is up to P8. So they still have to round the final corner. And Kearney Eastman as well, and this is for the end of the point, so let's see how they cross the line here. I think Roger Keller gets it, he does. P9 for Roger Keller and Kearney P10. Wow, what a finish, what a finish. Velez wins in Monza, Barrera P2 and Robinson P3.
Wow. Oh. Rohei will be gutted, as will be Jaden Harrison, who I've already seen exit the pits. But wow, what a finish to this race, Mark. This was the endurance race of the season. And what calamity is an understatement.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, I was looking at the view pointing forwards towards the finish line, and all I saw is slowing up was Rohei Robinson, and then catching very quickly was Velez. So I was like, oh man, he might be running out. And then after that, right at the line, I don't know if he got it. I think it was Estefano Barrera on the left, was it not? I don't know if you have the replay, but I swear... Right at the line.
Definitely did pass him at the line.
He did, and that was incredible for P2. Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
I need to watch that replay, Stephen. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible.
I am going to go and line up the drivers for the post-race interviews. I'm going to just drag them over, actually. That would make a lot of sense. Into the cool-down room. But what an absolutely epic end to this race, Mark. What an absolutely epic run to this race.
Absolutely. Incredible. Incredible race.
I will be right back, Mark.
Oh, catch your breath. What an incredible finish that you just won't see anywhere else except at the JSRA. Can you believe it? Ladies and gentlemen, a purse on the final lap, the final corner, right at the finish line. We need to see that again, because I just cannot believe what I just saw there. Wow, I'm still trembling. I never did I think the ending would be like that. Incredible. I just absolutely love this series, man. Wow. I've taken a screenshot of the final, well, no, unofficial results for now, because obviously that will change. and I can I see the replay of that final lap, because I need to see that. I need to see that. Let's take a look from Luis Daniel Velez, because I think that is worth seeing again. I cannot believe what just happened there. Okay, it was a little in front of Velez, but let's see. This is Estefano Barrera, and so this is from his point of view coming up to the line. This is worth another look. Look at this. Rohe slow and crossed just before. Oh, wow, incredible. And that is worth a screenshot right there. I mean, look at that. Look. Oh, it just kind of reset me there. But I mean, look at that. Hold on. Can I see that again? That was just was that after the line, or where is that? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where this all is. No, that was a little bit earlier, but wow, from Rohe's perspective. Well, we need to get into the driver interview, so I'll look at it then as we do the interview. But that's absolutely worth another look and a screenshot there for sure. My goodness. So Stephen rallying the drivers now. I'm sure there'll be protests made. People saying, oh, this happened. And penalties awarded. It's not all final yet. But that... I can't believe that finish. That finish was incredible. I think it was it round again? Another one? I'm going to go back another little bit here. Oh, we're just looking at the replay, Stephen, right before we get into the driver interview, if you don't mind, because it really is worth another look.
I had it ready for you to show while you did the interviews, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we are going to do that, because my gosh, Stephen, I still am so shocked at that result. I really am.
So we are going to have a change of the lineup for tonight's interviews. We're going to have Raven Plummer starting, followed by Rohe Robinson. Estefano will not be joining us, and then we'll have Daniel Velez to cap off these interviews.
Okay, would you like to start then with P3 then in the race, and then we'll work our way up?
Well, I was going to start with Raven, who finished in P4,
or P4
and then
rather.
Rohe.
Oh, we're doing P4 as well. Okay. Gotcha.
Right, so P2 will not be participating as they had to handle their own personal things.
Gotcha. Personal life, right.
So
let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that replay first, because I do have it ready. Let's take a look and see coming up to the line. And I was hoping to get a screenshot too, but maybe you can do that for me afterwards. So slowing up there is Rohe Robinson, the purple car. Look behind in the rear view. Look at that. Coming, getting ever so bigger, and that's where he ran out right there. And up to the line in slow motion. So right up here, the checkered line crosses right before and gets it. Let's get a close-up, actually. Can we look at close-up? There it is. So, wow, that is incredible. Just at the line. And Rohe Robinson concedes also to Jaden, who just snuck through. I mean, look at that.
This, though. This is a difference between P1 and P2
Wow.
At the end of this race, with Rohe Robinson there. Unfortunate again for him, but what an absolute spectacle of this evening's race, Mark. What a battle. Disappointment, heartbreak all throughout. I can tell you, you're going to hear tears from Rohe in the commentary booth in a moment's time. But as I said... We'll start with Raven Plummer. Are you ready, by the way?
I am. I'm just setting up my view here, so just allow me to get into the position, and then we'll go ahead and get started. I mean, I hope everyone's caught their breath by now, because now we have some incredibly important questions to ask to find out how on earth that finish just happened. So let's go ahead then and bring on in our first interviewee, Mr. or Mrs. rather, Raven Plummer, who finished P4. Would you like to bring them in, Stephen?
She is now in the commentary booth. I am even looking at her highlights to see as you guys talk and interview. Let's see if we can find a move or two here. But Raven, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. And I guess the highlights from my race would definitely be the fight I had with Kadeem in the first few laps.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit of back and forth there. It was really fun because I think I had the pace advantage a little bit, but getting the positioning and getting the move done was a battle in and of itself.
Uh, and I'm so sorry to say this, but unfortunately, my replay only goes by 10 minutes. So I think I'm gonna miss that one. But we'll definitely showcase those on our Instagram without a doubt, unless Mark
Well,
can pull them up for us.
I can perhaps try,
That
but
would be epic.
I cannot promise anything, but I can try as I multitask here. Because believe me, folks, you never see everything on the broadcast. You only see parts of it.
Trust me.
There's lots that goes on in the background. We frantically try and get all the action. Yeah, so Raven, I mean, my goodness, I mean, you saw what just happened. Try and tell us, try and break it down. How was that endurance race?
The race is very surprisingly also a fuel-saving race. You'd think here with the drafting and the curves and being able to save fuel pretty reasonably without losing too much track time, that it would be more for position, and that was not the case. I mean, as you saw the finish, definitely 1 liter of fuel made a difference. I actually crossed the line myself with only half a liter of fuel left in the tank. I couldn't even make it back to the pits after the checkered flag. So it was definitely a lot more strategic as to how much you're staying in the draft, how much you're lifting, how much you're using your curves, and all at the same time managing your tires. Because on the mediums, which I see a lot of people in the front went with, just managing those surface temperatures is absolutely paramount to getting the best out of your endurance race.
Indeed. Well, I mean, and you can speak for that because we know how well you did out at Austria. And so we thought, well, this is her race again. She showed us before she absolutely could do it again. And to be fair, you kind of did. I mean, no, it wasn't a win, but you were expecting to do well. And yeah, I mean, P4 is a solid result. And so with that all being said, I mean, when you manage the tires, how was the braking zones? Because there's a few chicanes, right? Obviously turn 1, 2, and you have Ascari later on the lap. So what do you make of those corners? I know it's kind of understeery, or at least by default it's kind of understeery. What do you do in regards to saving those tires?
You really have to play with the brake bias and adjust your trail braking as necessary for roughly 3 sections or 3 different strategies throughout the course to really level the temperature wear of your tires. Because some corners, of course, very, very heavy braking. You want that forward brake bias to get the most out of your braking system, but curves like Lesmo 1 and 2, where I felt I did the best at, I would drop the brake bias a little bit further back, brake pretty deep, and let the sliding of the car actually slow it down enough and line me up for the apex. So I was just knowing how to attack each corner and setting up your car and your style to get the best out of each corner. It's the best way to do it.
Well, there you go. Well, anything you want to say about the championship fights? Obviously, Jaden Harrison and Dominic Charles, obviously, very involved, and Estefano Barrera. I mean, this race might have been the pivotal moment in the championship there. I mean, you saw the finish. All the championship points count. I mean, for goodness sakes, Jaden Harrison went through the whole field in like a few laps. I mean, what do you think about the overall championship now that it's coming towards a close?
I definitely agree with you in that this is a pivotal moment. I mean, Jaden Harrison, he's been struggling to climb those ranks, but just bad luck after bad luck, unfortunately for him. So at this point, it's going to be pretty hard to actually claw your way up the rankings, but it's still possible. But it's definitely tooth and nail out here.
Absolutely. Well, you still have one more race to go. No, 2 more races out to go, rather. And so hopefully you can claw some championship points, get some money. I mean, it looks like the title fight is out of reach now for you, but it still is worth coming out for, right? So, what was your goal then going to the final 2 races? Then you're gonna look for something decent, get some decent points, because you at least get some money.
Well, I'm a racer, so these next 2 races, I'm gonna go for the top each time.
There you go. Well, that's what
That's
we like to
epic.
hear. We love that. Great answer.
And
Okay, there you go, Stephen. Take it away.
well, no, I'm just saying, looking forward to many more fights with the Raven. Awesome strategy here tonight. I saw, again, you said you finished your race with 1 Lito.
Not even, it was damn near half.
And
Wow.
that goes to show, like we saw Jaden looking like he put a little bit too much fuel, which dropped him down several positions versus your strategy that kept you at least in the running for that top 4 position. And then again, just being as light on the foot as possible. But epic showing as always. Your strategy always looks like it works out in the end for you. But congratulations, Raven, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next 2 sprints.
Thank you.
Well,
Likewise.
thank you, Raven, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, that was driver number 17, Raven Plummer, finished out in P4. Now we have who legitimately, Mark, dominated for the entirety of this race up until the final
Oh,
corner. Looked like he might have skimmed a little bit on that gas bill, but unfortunately, we have driver number 10, Rohey Robinson. I will take a little tiny bit of the blame here with the commentators. Curse, you did say
yes,
it.
you did. You did. I thought you might,
I
and you
did. I,
did.
I I did get a little bit too excited
Oh,
there for my brother there, but nonetheless, P3 last week he was saying, or not, sorry, 2 weeks ago was saying he was out of the running, and then put on an absolute spectacle of a race here tonight. Heartbreak for his fans, for the commentators, especially me. I am so sorry again, Mr. Robinson. Mr. Rohey Robinson, can you hear us? Please say
Yeah,
no. Oh no.
I'm here. I'm
oh,
here.
he hears everything. Oh, okay. Well, I'll take it away. Rohei, Stephen puts it there beautifully. You see live on stream now the finish that we just saw. That might have been. You can correct me, Stephen, but that might have been the best finish in JSRA history right there. I don't know if there's anything else that compares to that.
Well, I'm sure Rohey wouldn't agree, first of all.
Oh,
But
really?
second of all, we've
Oh,
had some very
interesting.
nice finishes,
We,
like
oh,
last week
yeah.
with Rohey and Estefano. No,
Oh,
man,
absolutely. Oh, I know, but
we've
in terms
definitely
of
be in the
at a
top 5.
line, at a
In the
line, I swear.
competition.
That.
Yeah, I think you meant like competition wise. The finish was really exciting. So
It
it
was.
was,
Absolutely,
but not for
absolutely.
me. Not
Right.
for
No,
me.
well, no, yeah, no, not for you. No, I know. Well, what did you make of the fuel then? And obviously, you were a corner away, and we hear the throttle cut. And so, what one went through your mind when you heard you running out of fuel and right behind Luis Daniel Velez coming up on your rear? Talk us through it.
I think um this was one of the races I was sure. I was like 99.9% sure that I had the pace to win the race. And if you could look the margin as well, the margin was like over 16 seconds.
It was.
I I just needed to add 1 more liter, not even one more. I think if I added like a zero point 0.1, I could have made it across the line first. But I definitely had the pace. I made a mistake in the pits, and I didn't realize the mistake until it was the last 2 laps, because all along my fuel calculator was showing me that I am zero point 0.1. I would have 0.1 liters when I crossed the finish line, but all of
Mm.
a sudden, when it was 2 laps remaining, it changed to negative 1.3. So
Oh wow.
I
So that
started to
goes to
say,
show that you can't necessarily rely on the in-game apps all the time to be 100% correct. Just
yeah,
you just have to
I,
make sure you have enough, and that's just such heartbreak, such heartbreak.
I
Oh,
definitely learned my lesson, but I think the safety car threw off the whole strategy as well because I had to recalculate during the race and I missed it.
Well, that was
Um,
at the very beginning of the race. So, how much less fuel would you have had if there was no virtual safety car? Then, Rohei, what do you think would have happened? Would you have pit stopped at your usual time midway through the race or something, and do it that way? What would you have done instead?
yeah, everything was already calculated, so I was just going to go in the pits whenever the time comes because I have a specific pit window that I always use. So once I hit that pit window, I definitely know that I need to go in the pits. I
Mm.
saw that Kyle went in earlier than I did.
I was gonna ask.
Um, yeah. So when I saw that, I was actually surprised, but I definitely knew that I needed to push more and to stay out longer just to stay within my pit window. So he went in earlier than I did, but I wasn't in any panic mode.
Mm.
And when I saw his pit lap when he pitted and the lap after, I realized that he was out of the top three. It was too long. His pit
Oh,
was too long.
So you
out
could
to the
say
top 10.
you could say Kyle got it the most wrong out of all the drivers then in terms of pit
Yeah, I
strategy.
think so.
Unfortunately,
Mm.
yes, I do believe so as well, Roy.
Oh no.
He got it completely wrong.
Kyle, if you're listening, it's okay, mate. It happens. It does
The,
happen.
the thing, as Rohe said, it's likely that he had set his pit stop strategy and forgot to or didn't get a chance to change it. So maybe he even put a little bit too much fuel. Who knows at this point?
Mm.
But
Uh,
it's Rohe, your strategy looked absolutely epic. I mean, we're wondering if Daniel and Estefano would end up pitting, and
They did
they
so
did with a
late.
little bit of a splash and dash clearly by Mr. Velez there. But um,
Yeah,
yeah, that was an
wow.
absolutely epic showcase of strategy. Heartbreak again, heartbreak. Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, Rohei, after what we saw last week, and we all know what happened last week out at Qatar. I mean, I was expecting you to come in as the winner, as we were looking towards the end of the race. I was expecting you to come in as the winner and be like, well, isn't this just the most amazing turnaround? But then heartbreak strikes again, and I mean, what do you make of it? Do you think with these final couple races you can pull out a win there and reel it back in?
it's going to be really close and it's dependent on the other driver's placement. But if it continues like this, I don't think I would make it towards the end in first or second.
Well, you can
It's
still
yeah.
try. You can still try. It's not completely over yet. Although we'll see when the championship points comes out if the maths are still there. But yeah, try your absolute best, mate, until the very end. And yeah, you never know with this series, that's for sure. Oh well,
Yes.
Rohei, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you very much, commentators.
I'm so
But
sorry.
this time I wouldn't put the blame on the commentators. I definitely messed up. One thing, no, I definitely had consistency and pace at this track because
Absolutely.
I have a lot of practice time at this track. So I was 99% sure that I was going to win, but I messed up in the pits, and that's all on me. So,
Oh,
Stephen, you got a free
he
pass.
got a free pass. There you go.
And
uh,
again, though, Rohe, it just looked like an impeccable drive. Congrats nonetheless. Third place, 1.5 points. That is still a very good result. And don't count yourself out with one drop race. You could very well still be in the running for the top three. So
I hope
we'll see
so.
you again for the next 2 rounds. Anything can happen, as your fellow racer Raven Plummer said. She is a racer and she's ready for the action. Can't wait to see you again next week, brother.
All right, thanks. Thanks again. Good
Thank you as
racing.
well. Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, driver number 10 put on an absolutely epic battle here this evening. But the winner, the man himself, the car number 379, the driver that did not put one foot wrong, he barely made it to the end ahead of his countryman in from Colombia. As you can see on your stream right now, Mr. Daniel Velez, the winner. He did say 2 weeks ago that he missed the top step of the podium, and here he comes back for 1.5 points to take victory here at Monza, the Temple of Speed.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. What an amazing finish.
Absolutely epic, brother.
What's an entrance, by the way, I should say, from you, Stephen. Well done.
Thank you. I don't know where it came from, but it just felt it worked, so I stuck with it.
Pure passion. Well, yeah, we can see on screen right now, Luis Daniel Velez. I mean, just tell us, how was that final lap?
Well, it was like a lot of emotion coming together because I only put 9 liters, and something was telling me you should put 10. Like, it's only 1 liter; it's not going to cost you anything. And then I forgot to add the 1 liter back. And then I was watching. Oh my! When in the black, in the previous lap, I saw that it was not going to be, it was not going to be enough. So I started to play with the clutch, like releasing the accelerator and just lifting and coasting everything that I could. But Stefano was just coming and coming and coming and coming. And I say to me, like, okay, I can be third. Like, it's my mistake. I should have put 1 more liter. It didn't cost me anything, but okay. And then I was also watching because, Roger had like 16 seconds from me. And then from one moment it went to 9 seconds. And then it was 6 seconds. And even with me lifting a lot, then I saw 4 seconds. And then I was telling to myself, oh my God, I can have the chance to win this. So I started to push like at the end, like after the SS. I don't remember the name of the turns, but after the SS, I went full gas, and then I started to use the curse. I used like half of the curse just in that part. And then I was watching, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do it. I am not going to be able to do it. So I stop accelerated, and then I put the clutch, but then I saw Roche, like not accelerating at all. I was not hearing him. And I say to myself, like, let's go for everything. So I put the foot down again and I pressed the curse, everything that I could, until I was out of fuel. But it seems that the push that I have done was enough to push Roger. But then I saw Stefano coming, and I say to myself, oh no, I am going to lose it at the end. And I don't know, but on the stream, the crossing the line should be insane close.
Yeah, it was really close. It depends where, I guess, on the track the finish line actually is. I mean, is it early in the straights like it normally is, or is it later? I mean, obviously different sims do it differently, but yeah, hopefully if the track is made correctly, it is at the right spot. And it was so incredibly close to the line, and so I guess we'll have it verified, but it's got to be like, what, a couple hundredths of a second, something like that. Very, very close.
Yeah, because I saw the bumper from Stefano right to my left, or so. Jesus Christ!
And he was going right in for it, as obviously he should, and so I don't know, but apparently according to Steven so far, he did get it according to the results. So yeah, that can obviously change on the official results, but as of right now, that's how it is. And just absolutely amazing finish. And so it seems like you enjoyed it as much as we did calling it here in the booth. So fantastic. And Stephen, do you have any more questions for Luis?
I think that Stephen lost the internet connection. But
Oh.
Wait a second, you're making me doubt, because from my side it was showing me that I was first, because the finish line is the first line. It's not the second line, it's the first line.
Yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up to it. Well, I have the replay open, but we're coming up to it. And let's see if I can find that finish line again. And so It might have been the next lap round because I am looking here at the time hour 2 in the replay. It's probably
Yeah, you
around.
can put the pedals if you want to see how I was lifting and coasting.
Indeed, I will do that, and look at that. Yeah, you can see lots of lifts there. You see the red bar, folks. That means brake, and green is throttle. So there's Rohei up ahead. So this was the final lap here, and so we'll play it out for you. And obviously, don't look at the timing tower because that's not going to work anymore.
But yeah, I was coasting here.
Yeah, big lift there into I think,
Yeah, and I was using the clutch like in order to just let the car roll and everything. Yeah, it was.
yeah.
Oh, it was very stressful.
I
Yeah,
mean-
this is the final lap.
Yeah, through Lesmo 1 and 2 here. I mean, Rohei, you were catching him like second by second, as he was obviously lifting a ton, trying and make it to the line, and so yeah, you heard his engine cut. Well, he was round about the final corner, and you were still on the straight there. So this was a scurry, and again, you went right out to the curbing. And so it was probably just up here, a few seconds further up, where he ran out of fuel. And so look at this, now he's catching a lot. And I mean, my gosh, this is when we were like, oh no, he's out of fuel. We got all excited. And then here's the final corner here. And
so here I had 0.2, 0.1, and kinda none. Like you're going to see where it cut off. Like
there's
I had no more fuel there. No more fuel.
And there was the pass at the line. Oh, I need to see that again because wow. So here it is. There. Oh, I wish I could stop it in time, but yeah, that's how fine a margin we are playing with. It won't let me stop for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's kind of funky, but yeah, that's. Wow. That's incredibly close. So the checkered line, I think it was the checkered line, right?
It's the first one.
Yeah, you looked ahead. You looked ahead on my screen. You looked ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see our real penalty or whoever, the GT Panama server, how they score.
At least the game was showing me first, so that's why I was totally confident that I was the one who win it.
Wow. So that was the finish there, and so. Anything else you want to say before we let you go, Luis Daniel Velez?
No, just to thank you guys. I am very sure that the work that you had today should be a lot with 1 hour race. So thank you so much for your work. I'm pretty sure the stream should have been amazing. Thank you for all of the people watching, and yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you for the kind words. Yeah, we will be back with round 7 next time out, and we hope you come out and join as well, fighting for the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, and next up, who do we have? Estefano. Actually, do we have Estefano?
Oh, Stefano is not going to be able, and that's why you had Raven.
Right, okay. Right, so I think we have covered everyone then in that case, because I'm looking up above. I don't think there's anyone else. So that is it. I don't think I can move you out of the channel, Daniel, as far as I'm aware.
No worries.
So yeah, you might have to leave yourself.
I will move myself.
But thank you so much. There he goes. Right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is a cap on an absolutely epic round number 6 here at Monza in Italy. I have no further words to say other than wow, that was amazing, and I don't know how we're going to top that. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know how we're going to top that, because that was just absolutely epic. Let's get a nice view here for the finish. I don't know why it's curved like that, but anyway, looks like Stephen has lost his internet, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the final results and finish up the show here. Just looking at what you folks are saying in the chat just before we end off. Alec Whitehawk said insane ending. Star said I can barely hear her. Yeah, I'm sorry about the audio. I tried turning it up. because it's already 8 decibels up, but I don't know. She was just low on Discord on her end, so I don't really know what I can do about that. I'm sorry. Hopefully you could hear. But wow. Star cheering on Dominic Charles. Hopefully you enjoyed. I think that was just about it. There wasn't too much chat tonight, but yeah, why? Thank you so much, everyone. Let's take a look at the final results now of the race. And let's go ahead and take a look at it then. Luis Daniel Velez, it does show P1 by 0.3 of a second on Estefano Barrera, who also pursed for P2 right at the end. He almost pursed for P1, but real penalty or the server decided, no, P2. Just missed it at the line. Rohei Robinson, P3, after running out of fuel on the final lap. Rohei Robinson heartbreak at 2:12 final lap, and that made the difference. Dominic Charles, P4, Raven Plummer, P5. Kyle Barrett, P6, Roger Keller, P7. Kearney Eastman with an amazing finish, P8. Great race for Kearney, especially considering last week. Riley Curtis finished P9, also in the points. Wow. Michael Thompson, P10. Jaden Harrison, P11. And Mikhail Charles is P12. Chris Elliott finishes out of the points, P13. Tazwanto Adji will be P14. And we had a bunch of people finishing behind that. Mateo Mejia, P15. Unfortunate race for him. Kadeem Mohammed, P16. Unfortunate incident towards the end of the race. He was looking pretty good for the most of it. Shishorn Falloon, P17. Michael McNamee will be P18 finishing up. Unfortunate race for him. And Rodrigo Seno Wild will be P19. John Singleton will finish 13 laps down in P20, rounding out the fields. What a race. What a race. So then with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, well, we can't get Stephen's final remarks. It is possible maybe he didn't lose connection, maybe he just had something he needed to do, life work or something. But I think on behalf of Stephen, we can say that was an absolutely epic race, absolutely epic drive from pretty much all the drivers, and this championship, it's not completely over yet, but it is looking very good for Estefano Barrera with that finish there. 1.5 times points, remember. So with Jaden Harrison's issue there during the race, he did, of course, make it back up beautifully. But despite that issue, Estefano Barrera ahead in the championship points, we think that's going to be. And Luis Daniel Velez with the amazing results. I mean, that's going to help him a lot as well. Don't know if that puts him in line for a P1 finish. I think he might have just been a little too far out for the crown at this point. I have to check the maths. Again, going into this race, if I can just refer to my material real quick. Going into the race, ladies and gentlemen, it was Estefano Barrera 135.5, Harrison was 114.5, so that was quite the difference, but still enough margin. Dominic Charles was 102.5, and Velez was 94 in 5th place. Rohei was 4th. So Rohei definitely out of it now with that. Dominic, yeah, we'll see about Dominic, and Jaden Harrison won't get as many points as he would have liked. So Barrera looking very good for the championship right now as we head into the final couple of races. So that might have been the pivotal moment. It just might for Estefano Barrera. Wow. I'll have to see though. Still lots more action to come on the CTCC. Why don't we go take a look at the remaining schedule for this CTCC. Let's reset that. There we go. Let's take a look at the remaining schedule, shall we? So coming up, or race number 7. Round 7 of our series, back to the sprint race format for the remainder of the year, 2 20-minute sprint races. Suzuka, we're going to Japan, will be the next race, and that's just an absolutely amazing circuit, flowing and fast, and that's going to be a lot of fun on these curves, that's for sure. So we're going to go to Japan. That might be where the championship gets clinched for Estefano Barrera. If he gets a win or two there, that will be the clinching moment. Albert Park will be our final round, March 28th, 2 sprint races there in Australia. I won't be there for next race out to Suzuka, so that will be Stephen bringing you the whole way there. He'll be streaming that. But I will be there for the final round at Albert Park for the CTCC, and hopefully that is lots of fun as well. So that's the remaining schedule, not too much left to go of the rebooted Season 1 of the CTCC. And so we're going to find out who our champion is, who gets the real cash money, real soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just cannot thank you enough for an absolutely epic race. I hope you enjoyed, because I certainly did. There's still so much more to go here this year out at the CTCC. So, from Stephen Stewart and Merc Rio, once again, we'd like to thank you so very much for watching. Make sure to vote your drivers of the day over on the JSRA Instagram, at JSRA Official. Go and do it. We'd like to see your votes for driver of the day. And honestly, it can be any one of those drivers. Absolutely anyone can win it. So go out and vote. Us commentators get a vote as well. So many to choose from. So, from all of us again, here at the JSRA, we'd like to say thank you so very much for watching. We'll see you at Japan next week, Friday. Book it on your calendar. A champion may be crowned. You've been watching the JSRA. We'll see you next week, folks. Have a very good rest of your nights.